click a button, but hey, let's go live! Hello everybody and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will and today we're going to be taking a look at some of the Unearthed Arcana races, classes, feats and stuff that's going on there. But before we do that, I did have a couple of things that I wanted to talk about, take a look at. There's two articles that I wanted to show you guys and talk about today before we get into the Unearthed Arcana stuff. So, you're close to Indianapolis? Oh shit, maybe you should, are you going to Gen Con? That'd be sick. The first of which is a BBC News article that I shared on Twitter like an hour ago or so, which is Dungeons and Dragons is now being used as therapy. It's in news and health and well-being. This article is actually really interesting, so we're going to have a quick read of it, and I want to see what you guys think. It got a interesting, good response on Twitter, so I wanted to see what you guys in chat were thinking. This is from Catriona White. A group of kids gathered around a game of Dungeons and Dragons is nothing unusual. Nothing unusual, there you go. The iconic board game is the stuff of childhood basement hangouts and Spielberg movies, but now it's being used as a form of therapy for kids with social issues. JJ, what am I doing here? Adam Davis, co-founder D&D therapy group Wheelhouse Workshop, which is based in Seattle and Kirkland. A licensed therapist, Adam thought the role-playing the game freed up a totally different side of the kids he saw. That's in Indianapolis, Yami. For anyone unfamiliar with D&D, it's a fantasy tabletop game. Yep, you create a personality. You might have spotted the game in the opening scene of Stranger Things when Will gets defeated by the Demogorgon, right? Adam Davis, alongside fellow therapist and Wheelhouse Workshop's co-founder Adam Johns, crafts bespoke D&D games to maximize its therapeutic benefits. For example, all players' actions will have consequences, like raiding an orc village will have an effect on the child orcs or mothers. Interesting. The kids immerse themselves in their character and interact with each other in character. The idea is that with these fictional adventures, they can practice using the social skills that they struggle with. Monsters and mazes, I think is what they're referring to. That's a Spielberg, right? Davis recently described one of the kids, Frank, not his real name, as a shy, quiet teenager who barely spoke above a whisper. The character he chose was a dwarf barbarian, Davis said. He was really loud and bumbling and unapologetic. It was a really obvious opportunity for this kid to play with qualities other than his own. Therapists have long used roleplay as a tool, and D&D acts as a perfect platform with its gentle demand on players to reimagine the way they interact with their peers. Jack Birkenstock runs the Bodana Group, a non-profit that exploits role-playing games, social and educational value for therapy. After introducing therapeutic D&D games while providing mental health treatment for juvenile male sex offenders, he immediately noticed the benefits. It's called Bleed, he said recently. How much does your personal identity impact the character you're playing, and how much does your character impact on you? These D&D therapy sessions have also been seen to help with flexibility because they force players to consider each other's strategies, whether that's avoiding sleeping orcs or sneaking into a dragon's lair. As one mum said of her son, a Wheelhouse Workshop attendee, he's actually told me he disagreed sometimes with what his fellow adventurers had decided, and that later sometimes he's come around and agreed that the decision turned out okay, which is a starting increase in flexibility for him. At worst, playing D&D is just a fun release after school. At best, it could really help troubled kids. Just watch out for that Demogorgon. This article is really interesting to me. I looked maybe a month ago at a couple of videos from the 80s, and they were really, really interesting in how D&D was perceived and how, like mental health issues were perceived when it came to, kids that would like kill their parents, and it was all because they were worshipping Satan and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see how far that has come. Yeah, those poor orc orphans, right? Those poor orc orphans. But I think this is awesome. Like this is fantastic, and I think it's pretty obvious to see. It's obvious anyone that's played D&D that you could see what the health benefits would be, teaching not only stuff like math, but how to interact with other people. And I think a lot of us who are, maybe less, I don't know, and not that we're all like child sex offenders or anything like that. I've never been charged. Is that, a lot of us are like introverted people in our spare time. If I walk out into a street, I'm not like super energetic and gonna like stop and talk to everyone on the way, so I was quite introverted when I was younger, and D&D I think really has got a big part to play in how I developed and how I kind of am now. So I think it's an interesting just kind of look at where D&D is now, and that it's in the mainstream media, and that we're talking about that. Now the article what's up, download? The article, which I want to cross-reference this with, which isn't actually an article, it's a video. I feel like a school teacher, Now we're going to watch a video class. Is a video from 1985, I believe, or some around that time. I can't remember if this is the right one. Oh, that's Matt Mercer. Hello, Matt. And I can't remember if this one is the joke one, but anyway, this is the video. And if you've been watching the stream, like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, you might have seen this video.
You have stumbled into the abyss of fire. You are no more.
I have a spell to save me.
There is no protection. You will burn forever and ever in eternal torment. You are no more.
I'm pretty sure this was the meme one, but there's another one.
No.
Go.
So good. He's suffering an eternal torment now. Get fucked.
Game goes on.
The game goes on.
Roll.
I've reached the deepest dungeon.
Me
I'm
too.
now Lord of the Little People.
Me too, MC Gamer.
The treasure is in your sight. Power beyond imagination for the winner, to wield for all eternity.
Yep. This is where it gets even better. Lord of the Little People, yeah.
Fate turns her face against you. The dragon has you in its mouth. The dragon slowly closes its mouth.
No. I'll do anything. I must win.
There's only one way to save yourself. And that way is blood.
Blood?
You gotta get
I'll
blood.
be right back.
Oh, I've just found the other video I was looking for. He only has a speed of 30. He gets taken outside. It's super grainy. But there's like this random child at the end here.
A horrible death. You lose the power.
You lose the power. I am Lord of the Little People. And then one last video, which I believe that was the joke one, but this one's actually serious.
Taylor, who was 10 years old when his cousins introduced him to a game, Dungeons and Dragons. In the 8th grade, he started drinking and doing drugs, and it was during that time that he met a friend, Snake, who introduced him to...
His friend is called Snake. Okay, so this is a I believe an 80s. It certainly looks like an 80s. Like section on this guy who played D&D. I believe he's got problems with alcoholism and drug abuse, mental health issues. But the problem is in the 80s that he played D&D. That was what made him do these things, right? Not the fact that he had pre-existing, obvious problems or issues or fell over with the wrong crowd. The issue was that he played D&D. So this is the kind of comparison shot I want to show.
Satanism. He joined a satanic
Yeah,
group
not Solid
known
Snake.
as the Sons of Satan. The group had grown in size to nearly 1,500 people.
Sons of Satan.
Some as young as 11 years old.
How did Dungeons and Dragons prepare you for eventual involvement in Satanism? How is that? The way that question is posed is hilarious.
D&D, they have witchcraft and
Witchcraft.
stuff like that, which is
Like
part of Satanism too. I just took stuff from Dungeons and Dragons and used it as reality. I
Yeah,
started liking
we
the
did.
power, to it that gave me as I was killing things, killing people, animals. The more I played Dungeons and Dragons,
Killing people, animals.
and the more I got involved in Satanism, they both become just about the same to me.
So that was Dungeons and Dragons. They then go on to talk about how heavy metal music is also the devil. But compare that shot there to Dungeons and Dragons is now used as mental health therapy. Man, have we come a little way? One last thing that I wanted to take a look at here. What's that tree belt? One last article I want to take a look at here is a strong Christian website, I believe, that also came up in my Satanic Panic searches. Alignment. Introducing morality. So maybe I should take this stance too, is what I was thinking. Once a player has chosen their character, they need to choose their alignment. In D&D, this is a technical term for meaning the crossing of two scales. Here again, the character could range anywhere from being a perfect law-abiding citizen to being in favour of absolute anarchy. This is a quote from the book. There are actually 9 possible combinations. One further issue needs to be raised about alignment. The morality expressed in D&D is fuzzy at best and is certainly not the morality of the Bible. The same handbook tells us that goodness has no absolute values, although many things are commonly accepted as good. For example, a lawful evil character, handbook states a lawful evil villain methodically takes what he wants within the limits of the code of conduct. Our young people are having enough trouble getting their values straight without being immersed in this sort of material. So that's the same stance on alignment I'm going to be taking. That I'm a young person, I've got enough problems sorting out my values as it is, without a book telling me that there is no absolute goodness in the world. So, thanks D&D, you ruined my Christianity. Thank you. Anyway, now moving back to, that was just a couple of articles I wanted to take a look at this morning in the kind of, in our news section, I suppose we could call it, if we had such a thing. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the Unearthed Arcana material. They never met a lawful good paladin, that is true, yeah. When I was a kid, another kid claimed his brother watched some kids play D&D and then was getting stung by phantom bees on his feet while he slept. That kid's talking some shit. Alright, Unearthed Arcana, Feats for Races. We've got a couple of Unearthed Arcana bits to look through. We're going to start with Racial Feats. Okay. As usual, blah blah blah, playtesting, blah blah blah, opinions, blah blah blah. Okay, 6 new feats to playtest. As explained in Chapter 6, feats like multiclassing are an optional part of the game. Love these idiots without psychology or sociology degrees making propagations about things they have no clue about. Me too. What's up, Rob? These feats don't assume that multiclassing is used in the campaign, and they don't assume the existence... Don't assume my existence, wizards! Huh. Each of the feats associated with a race in the player's handbook as summarized below. Okay, so you can, depending on what race you are, you get different things. Alright, sweet. Barbed hide. The prerequisite for having barbed hide is that you are a tiefling. One of your ancestors was a barbed devil or other spiky fiend. You spiky fiend, sir. It sounds like a Shakespearean insult, doesn't it? He was a singularly spiky fiend. Increase your con or charisma score by 1 up to a maximum of 20. Okay, Truebar, thank you. As a bonus action, you can use small barbs to protrude all over your body or cause them to retract. At the start of each of your turns while the barbs are out, you deal 1d6 piercing damage to any creature grappling you or any creature grappled by you. You gain proficiency in the intimidation skill. If you're already proficient with it, your proficiency bonus is doubled for any check you make with it. Man, imagine if you could get, like... God damn it, man. Like, grappling... Like, build the grapple build, and then also take barb hide somehow, and then just grab onto everyone, and not only are you going to be grabbing them, you're going to be dealing damage to them. I mean... Yeah, it seems fine. Increasing con or charisma by 1 up to a maximum of 20 is fine. The 1d6 piercing damage to any creature grappling you or any creature grappled by you. Sure. It sounds like a kind of interesting build, actually. Spiky Fiend is a drinker, it should be. I'm going to start using it insult too, yes. Spiky Fiend, sir. Okay, that's the first one. That seems good. Will there be any D&D after the discussion? Yeah, in a couple of hours' time, I'll be doing some Numenera. If we get some spare time, I might do a chat plays game. Who knows? Who knows? Bountiful Luck. Prerequisite, you have to be a halfling. Whenever an ally you can... Halflings are already, like, crazy, in my opinion. You know, they've already got some shit going on for them halflings. They're lucky. Whenever an ally you can see within 30 feet of you rolls a 1 on a d20... for an attack roll, an ability check, or saving throw, you can use your reaction to let the ally re-roll a die. The ally must use a new roll. That's really quite good, isn't it? That's like the lucky racial ability, but for everyone else. That's pretty damn good. But I guess you can only do it once per, you know, it's a reaction, so you can't just like spam, 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 spam. It's pretty damn good, though. It's pretty good. Always got done watching the most recent episode. Next one is pretty soon, but I'm still getting impatient. Sorry, I'm office. We try and get them out every week. Oh, God damn it, Phil's Jerkbird. I knew you were going to be here. Let's call someone a spiky fiend. Critter Friend. Is this a nod to Critical Role? I hope so. Prereq Gnome Forest. Your friendship... In fact, I didn't watch Critical Role last night. We can chat about that. Although spoilers, so maybe not. Your friendship with animals mystically deepens. You gain the following benefits. You gain proficiency in the animal handling skill. If you're already proficient in it, your proficiency bonus is doubled for any check you make with it. Okay? You learn the Speak of Animals spell and can cast at will without spending a spell slot. That's pretty cool. You also learn the Animal Friendship spell, and you can cast it once with this feat without expending a spell slot. You gain the ability to cast it in this way when you finish a long rest. Intelligence is spellcasting ability for these spells. I like it. I like it. That'd be a cool way to build druids. Or a druidy type of character without actually having to play a druid. I don't mind Crit Friend. So far, like, the really good one, I think, is Bountiful Luck, you know. I'm not going to call it insane or crazy, because someone will be like, here's the math in chat was actually statistically fine. Crit Friend seems fun, though. I'm liking these so far. You quite like the new feats? I'm quite liking them. I missed about an hour and it's passed out. Yeah, Bountiful Luck is part of my new Halfling reroll build. Like, if you can do some crazy stuff with the Halfling reroll build. We can talk about that. Dragon Fear. Prerequisite Dragonborn. When angered, you radiate menace. I wish I did that. You know, when I'm angered, I just look a little bit ticked off and call someone a spiky fiend. You gain the following benefits. Your strength or charisma increased by 1 up to a maximum of 20. Instead of exhaling destructive energy, you can roar and expend a use of your breath weapon to force each creature of your choice within 30 feet of you to make a wisdom saving throw. A target automatically succeeds if it can't hear or see you. On a failed save, a target becomes frightened for 1 minute. If frightened target takes any damage, it can repeat the saving throw, ending the effect on itself with success. That's pretty damn good. You can roar and expend a use of your breath weapon. That's pretty interesting. What do you need a link to? I've forgotten what I was linking now. Roll safe and roll pure, you spiky fiend. If you want a link to the thing that I'm looking at, it's just there. There you go. When I exhibit my own Dragon Fear, my charisma goes up too. Dragon Fear is good. It's good. Frightened is a good condition. Nice, Judo. Dragon Hide. You inherited the might and majesty of your draconic ancestors. Strength and charisma increased by 1. That's a good choice to have, actually, because charisma is based on the modifier on that one. You grow retractable claws from the tips of your fingers. Extending or retracting the claws requires no action. Oh, this is the Wolverine one. Okay. The claws are natural weapons, which you can use to make unarmed strikes. If you hit with them, you deal slashing damage equal to 1d4 plus strength, instead of the bludgeoning damage normal for an unarmed strike. Your scales harden, and you gain a +1 bonus to AC while you aren't wearing armor. That's a pretty good one as well. Hey, Julian, what's up? Dragonborn Hide makes me want to have a Dragon Monk. Yeah. The 1d4 plus strength isn't, incredible. Dragon, yeah. The claws are, like, thematically awesome, though, at the very least. And the +1 to AC is always going to be good. Plus strength, you can make a pretty tanky character with that. And then even when they don't have... Like, I like this idea because Dragonborn are descended from dragons, which are creatures who don't need to use weapons to be terrifying, basically. And so the fact they have a breath weapon is awesome, but the fact that they have claws kind of makes sense, because I'd imagine Dragonborn to have claws. That's just in my mind. I figured they wouldn't have, like, nice soft hands. I reckon, like, if you got punched by a Dragonborn, it would fucking hurt. So that's cool. Let's see. Dragon Wings. Uh-oh. My trigger sense. You sprout draconic wings. With your wings, you have a flying speed of 20 feet if you aren't wearing heavy armor and aren't exceeding your carrying capacity. Alright, 20 feet's fine, I guess, without heavy armor. Sure. I mean, I don't really like flying. But there you go. Drow High Magic. Drizzt Magic. You learn more of the spells typical for your people. You learn Detect Magic and can cast it at will. Without expending a spell slot. That's pretty damn good. You also learn Levitate and Dispel Magic, each of which you can cast once without expending a spell slot. You regain the ability to cast a spell in this way when you finish a long rest. Charisma is your spellcasting ability for these spells. Is that like a Dargon Knight? Not related to Dragon aside from looks and abilities? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just my mind imagination, Half the nerd population just lost their shit to Dragon Wings, it's true. Oh. Alright, let's see. I don't know, is Drow magic, like, thematically what Drow do? It's been a long time since I've dared to read a Drizzt novel, so maybe that is just what Drow do, like, they can really easily detect magic. I don't know. Dwarf Resilience. Hello. You have the blood of dwarf heroes flowing through your veins. You gain the following benefits. Increase your con score by 1. That's damn good as a dwarf. Up to a maximum of 20. Whenever you take the dodge action in combat, you can spend 1 hit die to heal yours. What? Roll a die, add your constitution modifier, and regain a number of hit points equal to... That's really good. That's whenever? That's really quite good. That's good, isn't it? It's not, that's not just me, is it? That's not just me. That is a good thing. Like when you can just dodge and then you take spend a hit die whenever you take the dodge action. That's damn good. I like that. Now I'm slowly going it back. Here's pretty much what all Drano was supposed to be able to do. Okay, cool. I like that. Old school default abilities for prepositions. Alright, there you go. At higher levels that isn't great. You're right, yeah. It doesn't scale ridiculously, but still, you know, a low level, like a level 1, that's actually very, you know, very good. Lower levels as well. Dwarves are hardcore parkour. I mean, feats are almost meant to be overpowered, right? Feats are not, I mean, not overpowered in the sense that feats are meant to be better than all other feats, but feats are meant to be good. So I get that they're meant to be good. Hey, Mom. Elven accuracy. You have uncanny aim. Your dex increased by 1. Whenever you have advantage on an attack roll, you can reroll one of the dice once. I like that. I like it. Everybody's friend. This is like the sad kid in school, you know. I'm gonna take the everybody's friend feat now. Everyone's gonna like me. Increase your... It's unfair. Increasing your charisma score by 1 to maximum of 20. You gain proficiency in deception and persuasion. If you're already proficient in either skill, your proficiency bonus is doubled for any check you make of that skill. Sure, okay. What about when you take the dodge action? You can you take dodge as a bonus action as a rogue, or is that hide? I don't remember now. I'd have to actually look these things up, and I'm too lazy to do so. I'd rather just ask chat and then someone will know probably. Feats meant to be game changers. Yeah, I get that. Fade away. You can draw on your magical heritage to escape danger. You gain following benefits: increase intelligence by 1. When you take damage, you can use a reaction, hide and dash. Oh, that's the one I was thinking of. Dash. There you go. When you take damage, you can use your reaction to magically become invisible until the end of your next turn, or until you attack, deal damage, or force someone to make a saving throw. Once you use this ability, you can't do so again until you finish short or long rest. That's pretty cool, as a gnome. You use your action, just fucking turn invisible. There you go. What's up, Gale? Yeah, I agree, MC Gamer. No. Does it stack with expertise? Everybody's friend. If you're already proficient in either skill, your proficiency bonus is doubled for any skill check you make of that skill. I don't know if it does. Fey teleportation. Yeah, I don't know if monks do either, yeah. Fey teleportation. Drawing on your Fey ancestry, you had to be an elf to do this. Elves. Back from McDonald's run, watching my phone to keep up though. No worries, Tag Lily. Monks get to dodge as bonus, but have to spend a key point to do so. Alright, that's fair. Okay, you increase your intelligence by 1. You learn Misty Step spell and can cast it once without expending a spell slot. You gain the ability to cast it in this way when you finish a short or long rest. Intelligence is spellcasting ability. I like that one as well. How's it going on? Good hat, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. I should merchandise beanies. That's what I should start doing. My face. Okay, how the fuck do you pronounce this word? Phlegethos. I think I nailed it. Flames of Phlegethos, you shall not pass. Prereq, Tiefling, sure. You learn to call on Hellfire to serve your commands. I feel like Tieflings don't get too much love, you know? This is epic music. Increase your intelligence or charisma score by 1. When you roll fire damage for a spell you cast, you can reroll any 1 on the fire damage dice, but must use a new roll even if it's never wrong. Sure. Phlegethos! Flames of Legolas. Whenever you cast a spell that deals fire damage, you can cause flames to reave around you until the end of your next turn. Oh, this is like the Sorcerer Phoenix. Yeah. I really like that. That's a cool idea. Okay. Legolas' lesser known cousin. The flames don't harm you or your possessions, and they shed bright light up to 30 feet and dim light for an additional 30 feet. While the flames are present, any creature within 5 feet of you that hits you with a melee attack takes 1d4 fire damage. I kind of like that. Like, you just kind of like burn up and anyone hits you, like, gets fucked, you know? It's lit. It's lit. I like Legolas. Legolas, not Legolas. Flegafoss. Fleegafloss. I don't know. Fuck me. Flames. Flames of pee. Hey! Make your buddy new. Flegafloss, he says. Appreciate that, my man. Race and drinks in chat, everybody. Grudge Bearer. Now, this sounds like super Warhammer dwarfy, and I love Warhammer dwarves. They're the best kind of dwarves. You have a deep hatred for a particular kind of creature. You're a big racist. Choose your foes, a type of creature to bear the burden of your wrath. Aberrations, so on and so forth, the different monster types. Alternatively, you can choose 2 races of humanoids, such as gnolls and orcs. You gain the following benefits. Increase your strength, constitution, or wisdom in score by 1. That's pretty good. And you have to be a dwarf to do this. During the first round of any combat against your chosen foes, your attack rolls against any of them have advantage. Wow, that's good. That's cool. When any of your chosen foes make an opportunity attack against you, it makes the attack roll of disadvantage. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Rather than just all attacks, just opportunity attacks. I like that because you like know how they work and you can dodge past them. That's cool. Whenever you make an intelligence check to recall information about your chosen foes, you add double your prof bonus to the check even if you're not normally proficient. That's a bit like the Ranger chosen enemy, right? God, it feels so long since I've actually bothered looking at the rules since I started doing these reviews like 2 months ago. Yeah, that's pretty good. Any first round of combat, any chosen foes, your attack rolls have an advantage. That is very good. That is very good. Okay. Grudge Bearer is pretty strong. And what do you have on that's really strong? Dwarf Resilience was good. Dragon Wings was good. Chicken Nug. I wish half-orcs mechanically would move away from aggression-based feats and features and be more varied. That would be interesting to see. The human feat will just really stubborn, is that what it is? Human determination. You are filled with a determination that can draw the unreachable within your reach. Increase one ability score of your choice by 1. Makes sense because humans tend to get that choice factor in D&D. I never understood alignments well enough. Chicalto, you don't need to. Alignments are pointless, and exclamation point alignment is my trigger. When you make an attack roll, an ability check, or saving throw, you can do so with advantage. Once you use this ability, you can't use it until you finish a short or long rest. Seems reasonable. That one's maybe like... I don't know. I get the thing with humans is that humans are meant to be like... You can do anything with humans, basically. It's a sort of blank canvas for characters, which I get. But I kind of wish I had something a bit more exciting, maybe. Maybe there's some others in here that'll be exciting. Reach for the stars! What was other trigger triangles? That is true. That is true. Let me do that there. Infernal Constitution. Fiendish blood runs strong, and it's a tiefling one. Con increased by 1, you have resistance to cold and poison, and you have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned. I don't think I'd take this one if I was a tiefling. If I was playing a tiefling. It seems like, I don't know. We need alignment-based feats. Wizards, please! When will you open your eyes and do alignment-based feats, wizards? Fuck. Orcish aggression. Okay, this is what PFAS is talking about. Yeah, it's alright, yeah, not great. Human feet, you wank more than any other races and gain advantage on hipster checks. Demons need to know what your alignment to referee your character. Oh, fuck me. As a part of this action, you can move up to your speed towards an enemy character of your choice that you can see or hear. You must end this move closer to the enemy than you started. It's pretty cool. There's genuine and honest because I am genuine and honest. Yes, PFAS. Absolutely no trolling occurs in this chat from PFAS. Like, seriously, the amount of new people that come in and like, who are we playing? And PFAS is like, they're all playing Gru. I'm like, no, they're not. Not liking these feats? I'm liking these feats, Richards. Don't assume I like. Some of them I like more than others. But there you go. Orcish Fury. Your fury burns tirelessly. You gain the following benefits. Increase your strength or constitution score by 1. After max of 20. When you hit with an attack made with a simple or martial weapon, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice an additional time and add it as extra damage of the weapon's damage type. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you finish a short long rest. Okay. Immediately after you use your Relentless Endurance trait, you can use your action to make one weapon attack. That's when you come back up on 1 hit point, Relentless Endurance, right? I think. Or was that previous edition? I think. Oh, fuck me, I don't know. Just emos adjusted for inflation. I don't know. I need to print off the Unearthed that kind of stuff. Some of it's good. So let's basically come up on Relentless Endurance and then make one weapon attack. That's pretty good as well for playing like a half-orc, yeah. You can roll one of the weapon's damage dice an additional time and add it as extra damage of the weapon's damage type. That's cool. It's pretty strong. I think it's good. As a hipster, I take offense. Yeah, the 5e. Okay, I figured it's not as much. Casilos are really need to play D&D Heaving Elixir away for person note. Yeah, I get it. Prodigy. The Prodigy. Half-elf or human, you have a knack for learning new things. Increase one ability score of your choice by 1. Okay, yeah, that's basically similar to the human determination. I wonder if this one's any better. You gain 1 skill proficiency of your choice, 1 tool proficiency of your choice, and a fluency in 1 language of your choice. That's kind of cool for like scholarly type characters. Firestarter. Phil doesn't join me on Thursdays, no. Phil's off recording or filming stuff on Thursdays, I think. Second Chance. Isn't that like a Call of Duty thing? I don't know. When you go down... No, that's Last Man Standing. Okay. Last Man Standing. Fortune favors you. Fortune favors the bold. Yeah, Prodigy sounds bad. I don't see why you take that, really. Interesting if you're like playing a super... Oh, I keep thinking it's Thursday. No, Phil joins me on Sundays and Wednesdays. Yeah. I'm just doing this show on Friday because I meant to do it on Thursday. That's why I keep thinking it's Thursday. Okay, Second Chance, increase Dex Con or Cha by 1. Cha. When a creature you can see hits you with an attack roll, you can use your action to force that creature to re-roll. Once you use this ability, you can't do so again until you finish a short long rest. Could be good. You know, the boss creature hits you with, you know, about to hit you, and you know it's about to deal you 1,000,000 fucking damage. I don't know. Has it been 24 hours since a riddle? Yeah, the tweet goes out later tonight. Squat nimbleness. Ooh. Squats nimbleness. A sweat is when one is squatting and sweating. You are uncommonly nimble for your race, which is dwarf, gnome, or halfling. Strength or dex increases by 1. Increase your walking speed by 5. You gain proficiency in acrobatics or athletic skill. If you're already proficient in the skill, your proficiency bonus is doubled for any check you make with it. Sure. Could be interesting. If you want to play a particularly sort of tumbly sort of character, I don't mind that. I'm not in love with it, but there you go. Wondermaker, holy mackerel, is this thing big. That's what she said. You master the tinker... Been watching too much US Office. You master the tinker techniques of your people. You gain the following benefits. Dex or intelligence score increases by 1. When you make a check using your proficiency with Tinker's tools, you add double your proficiency bonus to the check. Makes music a little quiet. There we go. When you make a device of your Tinker trait, you have the following additional options for what you make. You gotta be a rock name to do this as well. That was what it was. Ba, ba. A little quiet on my end. A little quieter on this end. There we go. It's Tinker time! Oh yeah, there's a riddle thing on Twitter. If you solve the riddles, they regain sanity. If they lose the riddles, they lose sanity. Okay, oops. I hit something. Alarm. You get to add additional options. The device senses when a creature moves in 15 feet of it without speaking aloud a password chosen Chosen when you create it. 1 round after a creature moves into range, the alarm makes a shrill ringing that lasts for 1 minute. It can be heard up to 300 feet away. Calculator. The device makes doing sums easy. That's what I need when I play D&D, man. I need I need fucking calculator. I need to play a rock gnome, take Wonder Maker, and then just put calculator onto every item I come across. Lifter. This device can be used as a block and tackle. What's a block and tackle? Good luck, Gale. Allowing you to use a hoist 5... Oh, okay, it's like a lever and pulley, basically. Hoist 5 times the weight the user can normally lift. Do you even lift, bro? Do you even lift? Timekeeper. This pocket watch keeps accurate time. Okay, that's interesting. Wrong live cam stream. I love Feats. They've been super into Feats, but I love the ones that allow you more customization of a character. Also, sharpshooter. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Okay, Timekeeper is fine. Weather sensor. When used as an action, this device predicts weather conditions in a 1 mile radius for the next 4 hours. Throwing symbols. Man, like, that's like you could actually be a weather broadcaster in a D&D game. You play a rock gnome, take Wonder Maker, and then every device you make with Tinker's trait is just a weather predicting fucking sensor. I love the poster tour about New Direction. What prompted to change the tone? Did you already discuss New Direction thing? I'll talk about it after we take some look at these Unearthed Arcana things. I'll put it on my to-do list. New channel direction. That's what we'll talk about after that. Okay, so last one, Wood Elf Magic. You learn a cantrip. Sorry, learn the magic of the primeval woods. You learn 1 cantrip of your choice. Got to be an elf to do this. You also learn Long Strider and Pass Without Trace, each of which can cast once without expending a spell slot. You gain the ability to cast a spell in this way when you finish a long rest. Alright, that's fine as well. That one seems a little bit tacked on, doesn't it? No bullets. No bullet points for the Wood Elf Magic. Rip. Okay. Yeah, I like these. I figured I wouldn't like racial feats for some reason, because I'm a big racist against the D&D races. Cloudy with Chance of Soul. Evening Jam, how's it going, buddy? I thought I wouldn't like these too much. The DM couldn't ambush the party ever. Well, 15 feet. I mean, I'd probably rule it a surprise if you're within 15 feet of someone, then the alarm goes off. I don't know. I'm pretty surprised when my alarm goes off in the morning, so, you know. I didn't think I like these. I like some of them more than others. I think some of them are a little bit, you know, a little bit meh. But, the Dwarf Resilience is really good. Dragonborn Wings, you know, I've never been a fan of flying. You guys know that. But it's a thing. Sure, you're a dragon. Got it. I like the fade away one where you just fucking turn invisible when you get hit. Flames of Flegiflos, Flubulon is good. Cloudy of a Chance of Will's Dong. Shit, balance as expected. I don't think it's that bad. I think Feats are, you know, already pretty damn good. Fader Math for the Bell for following. Welcome in, buddy. And I know I said I wouldn't be doing shoutouts to follows, but on shows like these where it's just me, it's not interrupting. Orcish Fury? I get what people said about not making half-orcs always just aggressive all the time. The dwarf stuff is the best. I agree, I think the dwarf stuff is pretty damn good. The ones which weren't so cool were like Human Determination and Prodigy. Didn't seem so cool, but the others at least are kind of interesting, you know? And they give you some different stuff to do with your character at the very least. But let's face it, dwarf stuff is always the best. Let's be real now. Dwarves, OP. Let me find that there. Oh, there we go, fantastic. So, let's look at the next one. Next Unearthed Arcana that we're going to take a look at. Praise the Dark Lord, Flegiflos. Revised subclasses. I don't care enough about these ones to really take a look at them. You know, we've already looked at the subclasses in the past. They might be revised. Take a look at them if you want. The link for it is here. Maybe I'll take a look at it if we get time at the end. New one though, Feats for skills. Again, blah blah blah, playtest material, please don't hurt us. We know it's not like best. Nah. The document introduces new feats to playtest. Each of these feats is associated with a skill as summarized below. Okay, so I figured I wouldn't like racial feats. I figure I probably also wouldn't like skill feats, because that's confusing. I've got my skill feat, my feat skill. Why am I showing my feet on cam? But who knows? Maybe it's good. Maybe it's good. So new feats here. We've got a list of how many of them we got. I don't know. It doesn't say. Okay. Acrobat. Okay. You become more nimble, gaining the following benefits: increase your dex score by 1 to a maximum of 20. I'm gonna put, maximum of 20 is in brackets of all of these. I'm gonna stop saying it. I'm gonna raise your dungeon. You gain proficiency in the acrobatics skill. If you're already proficient in the skill, you add double your prof bonus to checks you make of it. Cool. When you're hooked on having more options. That's my feet fetish. As a bonus action, you can make a DC 15 acrobatics check. If you succeed, difficult terrain doesn't cost you extra movement till the end of your current turn. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. I dig that. I'm about it. Acrobat's fine. Why are skill feats confusing? They seem the most logical. Being more skilled in one skill seems like a pretty straightforward idea. It's just a terminology, just skills and feats, and then putting feat skills together is a fun word combination. Animal Handler. You master techniques needed to train and handle animals. You gain the following benefits. Also, I think it's interesting that feats weren't like too much of a thing in 5e, and now they're putting more effort into feats, which I like. I like me some feat. That's when playing the Mystic Rakam. Here are my 8 million options. Animal Handler. Wisdom increased by 1. Proficiency in animal handling skill. You can use a bonus action on your turn to command one friendly beast within 60 feet of you that can hear you and that isn't currently following command of someone else. You can decide now what action the beast will take and where it will move during its next turn, or you issue a general command that lasts for 1 minute, such as to guard a particular area. Sure. It's kind of interesting. That's go Beastmaster, yo, and then just command all the animals, or command the druids in your party like wild. That's not how that works, but it would be fun. Arcanist. You study arcane arts, gaining the following benefits. Well, technically, would that work on a wild-shaped druid? Because I remember there being a sage advice thing on this about whether your type actually turns to beast. You can use a bonus action on your turn to command one friendly beast within 60 feet of you that can hear you and that isn't currently following command of someone else. I guess maybe it's following its own commands if you're a person. That would be such a troll if that would work. I wild shape into a bear. I command you to not do anything. Arcanist. No, it doesn't make Beastmaster obsolete, because Beastmaster doesn't require actions or bonus actions to command animals. Arcanist. Increase your intelligence score by 1. You gain proficiency in the Arcana skill. If you're already proficient in skill, you add double your prof bonus checks. You learn Prestidigitation and detect magic spells. You can cast detect magic once without expending a spell slot, and you gain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. Yeah, detect magic's good. That's like the drow one we looked at a second ago. The detect magic against two all the time. That's cool. Brawny. How many more we got? There's quite a lot of these. Brawny. Strength increases by 1. You gain proficiency in athletics. Double if you don't. Blah blah blah. You can count as if you're one size larger. Sure. Sneaky. Diplomat. Add your charisma score by 1. You gain proficiency in persuasion, and double if you're already proficient. If you spend 1 minute talking to someone who can understand what you say, you make a charisma persuasion check contested by the creature's wisdom insight check. If you or your companions are fighting the creature, your check automatically fails. If your check succeeds, the target is charmed by you as long as it remains within 60 feet of you for 1 minute thereafter. That's kind of cool. Being like the super silver-tongued bro. The Animal Handler feat is much less powerful than what the Beastmaster does, especially advice. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're talking PHB Ranger, it's still worse than that, right? I'd actually have to remind myself what that does. But the revised Beastmaster Ranger is like OP, man. Well, not OP, but way better than it was. Empathic. Okay. For some reason, when I said that word, it didn't sound... You know when you say a word and you're like, that word doesn't sound real when I say that? At least Feats seem to be making expertise less powerful. Delay combo with expertise? That's the question. Because if they do, then... well, that'd be different, wouldn't it? Increase your wisdom score by 1... I'd imagine they'd combo, right? You gain proficiency in the insight skill. If you're already proficient in the skill, you add double your proficiency bonus to checks you make with it. You can use your action to try and get uncanny insight about one humanoid you can see within 30 feet. If you make an insight check contested by a deception check of the target, if your check succeeds, you have advantage on attack rolls and ability checks against the target until the end of your next turn. Wow, that's pretty good. To the end of your next turn. Yeah, it's not as good as I thought it was. Yeah, actually it's a turn it can spin away his companion. Yeah, fuck me, that was bad before. When you spell a word right and start saying... Yeah, when you start seeing words over and over and over, and then you're like, that word isn't a real word. I'm pretty sure it's not real. Pretty sure I'm making that word up now. Okay, we got Historian. Study history rewards you with the following benefits. Increased by 1, you gain proficiency in history skill, double if you're already proficient. When you take the help action to aid another creature's ability check, you make a DC 15 history check. On a success, that creature's check gains a bonus equal to your prof bonus as you share pertinent advice and historical examples. To receive this bonus, the creature must be able to understand what you're saying. What's up, Buzz? How's it going, man? Historian's interesting. Like, I can't imagine too many cases where you necessarily want to take Historian unless you want to play Historian. It could be useful. I think some of these are a bit more useful than others, but that's always going to be the case, you know. Investigator. You have an eye for detail and pick out the smallest clues. You go full Sherlock Holmes on it, basically. You gain proficiency in the investigation, double if already proficient. You can take the search action as a bonus action. Huh, interesting. That could be useful, I guess. That could be useful if you were playing like a super... I actually thought about this the other day when I was watching... I've been getting Sydney to watch the UK Sherlock BBC TV series. And I was thinking it would be pretty fun to play like a super Sherlock Holmes type game. Or like a Call of Cthulhu style game, I guess. But then I just play Call of Cthulhu. Could be useful for a wizard, warlock type, maybe a hermit or scholar. Yeah, scholar background could work well with that, I think, yeah. Someone staying behind you going, ah yes, I remember a puzzle in this in 1975. I have to say, I haven't watched the most recent series of Sherlock. Is it 4? I watched 1, 2, and 3, and I thought they were all quite good. Medic, you master the physician's arts, gaining the following benefits. Increase your wisdom score by 1 to a maximum of 20. Proficiency in medicine, double if already proficient. During the short rest, you can clean and bind the wounds of up to 6 willing beasts and humanoids. That's quite useful. DC 15 medicine check for each creature. On a success, if the creature spends a hit die during that rest, the creature can forego the roll and instead regain a maximum number of hit points the die can restore. Creature can only do so once per rest, regardless of how many hit dice spent. That's really cool. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. I will protect you. Season 4 is so very on point if you like the others. Okay, cool. I probably will like the others. I'm new to D&D. What am I reading? I am reading Unearthed Arcana. It's material. Spend a hentai dice. Unearthed Arcana is material written by Wizards of the Coast, which is playtesting material. So ideas that they have basically, like putting out there to see if you like them. Medic is cool. I like that one a lot actually. Like if that's super cool for like playing a cleric or something, you know. Or just playing the kind of like, you know, ranger type dude who's like been in the wilderness. You know, like the Aragorn. You know, we need king's foil, quick! And then, you know, it's a weed. And then you cure Frodo and whatnot. A gentleman and a scholar. Will's got hentai on the brain. What can I say? What can I say? How much hentai is enough? Menacing. You become fearsome to others, gaining the following benefits. Charisma increased by 1, proficiency in intimidation, double if already proficient. And when you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace one attack with an attempt to demoralize one humanoid you can see within 30 feet of you that can see and hear you. Make a charisma intimidation check contested by the target's insight check. If your check succeeds, the target is frightened until the end of your next turn. If your check fails, the target can't be frightened by you in this way for 1 hour. That's interesting. It's interesting. Especially seeing as you can do that as a bonus once you have extra attack at 5th, right? I like it. I like it. Dev is safe. Expect the tentacles to show up on a cam at any moment. You never know. It's exclamation point give, space, their name, amount of gold. I introduced my newbie group to Unearthed Arcana and they go bonkers over the stuff every week. Brings a tear to my eye. Oh man. Till they love it. I want to demoralize my enemies, me too. Feel bad about yourself while I'm killing you. Perceptive. Now this seems like a useful one. Feast on his flesh. You hone your senses until they become razor sharp. Wisdom increases by 1. You are already proficient in perception skill, double that. Being in a lightly obscured area doesn't impose disadvantage on your perception checks if you can both see and hear. I don't know, man. So many like races have dark vision. I guess, you know, things still far away that could work for being in a lightly obscured area, like misty stuff. This fog cloud light obscure? It's more like a heavy obscure, isn't it? I don't know. It sounded more useful than I think it actually is. Performer. You master performance so that you can command any stage. There actually is a silver tongue feat, there is, yeah, fuck. You gain proficiency in a performance skill. If you're already proficient in the skill, you can add double your proficiency bonus to checks you make with it. Yep. While performing, you can try to distract one humanoid you can see and hear. Make a performance check and contested by the humanoid's insight check. If your check succeeds, you grab the humanoid's attention enough that it makes perception and investigation checks of disadvantage until you stop performing. That's interesting. Like, could be quite fun. I'm trying to think how, like, actually useful that would be. I mean, the charisma bonus is good, and the double proficiency in performance is good. I'm thinking about the extra bit on the end here. It makes perception and investigation checks of a disadvantage until you stop performing. I don't know, that could be useful, I guess. In certain situations where you're trying to distract the nobles at the ball, maybe? I don't know. Quick-fingered. Your nimble fingers and agility let you perform Sleight of Hand. Second edition is the best. Is that a fact, Sneaky Wink? Increase your dex by 1. Yep. Proficiency in Sleight of Hand. Double if already proficient. Performer might have already been a thing. Maybe. As a bonus action, you make a dexterity sleight of hand check to plant something on someone else, conceal an object on a creature, lift a purse, or take something from a pocket. Cool. I like it. I like it. That's how you play the Oliver. God. I don't know. I forgot the last name. Oliver fucking. Please, sir, can I have some more? Thinking entertainer background. Nimble fingers. Daddy. Me, I'm quick fingered. Silver tongued. Charisma increased by 1. Proficiency in deception. Oliver twists. I want to say Oliver Riddle for some fucking reason, because I'm an idiot. Double if you're already proficient. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace one attack with an attempt to deceive one humanoid you can see within 30 feet of you. Deception versus insight. If your check succeeds, your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks from the target, and your attack rolls against it have advantage. Both benefits last until the end of your next turn, or until you use this ability on a different target. If your check fails, the target can't be deceived by you in this way for 1 hour. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like that one. That's similar to the there was one. You scare people instead of an attack. You frighten them. Maybe that was on the racial ones. It's the tentacles in my brain. Yeah, they just keep bringing me back to hentai, man. It's just weird. Okay, let's see. The Silver Tongue, Stealthy, Survivalist, and Theologian are the last ones that we have. You know how best to hide. Makes sense. You're stealthy. Dex increased by 1. Stealth is doubled if you're already proficient. If not, you just gain proficiency. If you're hidden, you can move up to 10 feet in the open without revealing yourself if you end the move position where you're not clearly visible. That's the Skyrim move, right? Quick fingered and silver tongue indicted as sexual frenzy. Yeah, you're on a list somewhere or other. Stealthy is you know when you're in Skyrim and like the guy's in front of you and he's looking at you and then you go and then he can't see you anymore. And then you're like that's quite entertaining. I like the idea of stealthy. As long as you finish somewhere where it's not where you're not clearly visible, then you're fine. That's a Campbell's fantasy. There you go. Samuel L. Jackson watches hentai. There you go. Best Skyrim impression ever. Yeah, the guys over at Bethesda have hired me on as the new animations of the new game coming up. Theologian. The extensive study of religion rewards you the following benefits. Intelligence increases by 1, religion, same deal as always. You learn the Thaumaturgy and Detect Evil and Good spells. You can cast Detect Evil and Good once without expending a spell slot, and you regain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. Sure, okay, Theologian's cool. Who's that? Nobody. Oh, okay. You thought he was invisible. There you go. Yeah, okay, I like the feats for skills. These are quite fun as well. I think maybe I preferred the racial ones. I don't know. I feel like some of them were a little bit cooler. But yeah, on a similar par. I like these ones. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Meme out of 10. Next one I wanted to look at was a trio of feat for skills. A trio of subclasses. Let me apply this real quick. So they redid there's a Drunken Master one that I heard about, which is apparently a lot of fun, and a couple of others that look like good fun as well. So let's see. Playtest material, trio of subclasses, monastic tradition, way of the Drunken Master, sacred oath, oath of redemption. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Maybe it's some homebrew I've seen somewhere. And then Ranger Archetype Monster Slayer, which is from that game, right? Monster Slayer or Monster Hunter or something. I don't know. I don't play games. Yeah, these were released a few weeks ago. I'm going back and going over the ones I've missed. So, Way of the Drunken Master teaches its students to move with the jerky, unpredictable movements of a drunkard. A Drunken Master sways, tottering on unsteady feet to present what seems like an incompetent combatant, but proves frustrating to engage. This is the Drunken Panda from fucking Dota 2. These are all revisits of UA subclasses. That would be why. No, these aren't the revisited ones. These are the revisited subclasses. The Ancestral Guardian, College of Swords, Arcane Archer, and so on. Are these also revisited? The Drunken Master? I feel like they're not. Maybe they are. I don't know. Chilling on Twitch instead of working. I like it. What's up, DK? Okay, so either way, I haven't looked at it. So, the Drunken Master's erratic stumbles conceal a carefully executed dance of blocks, parries, advances, attacks, and retreats. It's Jackie Chan. Cunning warriors can see through the Drunken Master's apparent incompetence to recognize the masterful technique employed. Drunken Technique. I like the artificer class as well, yeah. Drunken Technique. When you choose this tradition at 3rd level, you gain proficiency in a performance skill if you don't already have it. Your martial arts technique mixes martial training with the precision of a dancer and the antics of a jester. You also learn how to twist and turn quickly as part of your flurry of blows. Whenever you use flurry of blows, you gain the benefit of disengage action, and your walking speed increases by 10 feet until the end of your current turn. That's pretty cool. So you can just fuck off. You just hit people and then like, fuck them, see ya. I like it. Tipsy Sway. At 6th level, your swaying in combat becomes maddeningly unpredictable. As a reaction, when an enemy misses you with a melee attack roll, you can cause that attack to hit one creature of your choice other than the attacker that you can see within 5 feet of you. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. Okay, I like it. You can hit someone else. You make him hit his enemies. That's a pretty cool ability to have, I think. Okay. Intoxicated Frenzy at 17th level. You gain the ability to make an overwhelming number of attacks against a group of enemies. When you use your flurry of blows, you can make up to 3 additional attacks, up to a total of 5 attacks, provided that each flurry of blows attack targets a different creature this turn. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is like the ultimate troll class, right? Oh, did I miss Drunken's Luck? At 11th level, you always seem to get a lucky bounce at just the right moment to save you from doom. When you make a saving throw, you can spend 1 key point to give yourself advantage on a roll, and you must decide before rolling. Man, this is like the ultimate troll, Monk. I like it. Yeah, take a hit for me, buddy. Yeah, take one for the team. Yeah, I like it. I like that one. Yeah, Drunken Master seems like a lot of fun. At the very least, you know, it's not taking itself too seriously. So, you know, it's not a fucking mystic. I like that one. Okay. Oath of Redemption? Maybe I have seen this one before. Either way, I don't remember it very well. It sets a paladin on a difficult path. I'm so evil to make a hit teammate. Oh yeah, me too. No, absolutely. If I was playing a Drunken Master, I would absolutely hit my teammates with them all the time. But there's an enemy within 5 feet. No, sorry, buddy. The Oath of Redemption sets a paladin on a difficult path, one that requires a holy warrior to use violence only as a last resort. Okay. Paladins who dedicate themselves to this oath believe that any person can be redeemed, and that the path of benevolence and justice is one that anyone can walk. These paladins face evil creatures in the hope of turning them to the light. And so they're like, okay, yeah. I'm gonna try it. They're like evangelical paladins. I'm gonna try and show you the way of the light. These paladins face evil creatures in the hope of... Yep, okay. And the paladins slay them only when such a deed will clearly save other lives. They are known as redeemers. While redeemers are idealists, they are no fools. These are the guys that knock on your house on a Sunday morning and are like, have you heard the good word Pelor? Redeemers know that undead demons, devils, and other supernatural threats can be inherently evil. Against such foes, the paladins bring the full wrath of their weapons and spells to bear. Yet the redeemers still pray that, one day, even creatures of wickedness will invite their own redemption. Alright. It's another fucking lawful good sounding paladin, but... Sure. I'm looking to try and redeem you, because you've walked from the path of light. Who gives a shit about the tenants? Redemption spells, shield, sleep, hold person, rave, enfeeblement, counterspell, hypnotic, resilience, fear, stone skin, hold monster, wall of force. So these are all like, this is like the non-lethal class option, right, for paladins. Like, I just wanna save them. I just wanna save all those lost souls. Armor of Peace. And if anyone plays these, sorry, but I'm gonna make fun of it. Oh, Pelor, please make a pit fiend redeem itself, yes. You spiky fiend, sir! At 3rd level, your commitment to peace allows you to walk into the most dangerous situations unarmored. You just go naked, bro. While you aren't wearing armor or shield, your base AC is 16 plus dex. Holy fucking mackerel. Okay. No shield, okay. That's pretty good, though. Alright. Don't let me die, blocks. Warrior of Reconciliation. Alright, at 3rd level, you forswear the weapons of war in favor of simple tools. This paladin build is way too violent for me, yeah. This is like if you're playing a 7-year-old, so you don't actually want to, like, anyone to get hurt, you know? The monster just disappears, yeah. While wielding a simple weapon that deals bludgeoning damage, you gain a special benefit if you reduce a creature to 0 hit points with that weapon and decide to spare the creature's life. Man, if you're playing with, like, any kind of, like, rogue, like, you spare their lives and then the rest of the party just kill them anyway. Damn. Instead of falling unconscious, the creature is charmed by you for 1 minute. During that time, the charmed creature is peaceful and docile, refusing to move or take actions or reactions. Dungeons and Diplomacy, yeah. Unless you command it to. You can't order the creature to attack, force someone to make a saving throw, or cause damage to itself or others. This charmed effect ends early if you are incapacitated, or if you and your companions attack the creature, deal damage to it, make it a saving throw. When the effect ends, the creature falls unconscious if it still has 0 hit points. I don't know, man. I do want to play a paladin who doesn't let anyone kill anyone. A bag of holding full of shackles. Man. Is this the anti-fun? Is this even more anti-fun? I just feel like, just leave them trained to trees. I kinda like that idea. I just feel like the rest of the party are gonna end up killing people no matter what. unless they are all in on this, you know? Imagine a party all of just paladin redeemers. Oh my god. You've got like Orcus chained up. It's like, he'll change one day. He'll change. One day I can just tell he's gonna forsake his ways. Lord Buzzkill, Defender of the Defending, yes. Okay, Channel Divine is Emissary of Peace. You can use your Channel Divinity to augment your presence with a divine power. As a bonus action, you grant yourself +5 bonus to the next persuasion check you make within the next minute. Sure. It's almost a year! Hey, bro, jeez, appreciate it, my man. Raise some drinks and chat, everybody. Or take Sanctuary and heal the bad. That should be my next game, yeah. Holy moly. Alright. Also, if you guys are enjoying the show, remember, hit that follow button and join us. We're here all the time. 6 days a week playing D&D and talking about it too. Rebuke the Violent. Can we do this as a one-shot? Rebuke the Violent. It's happening. You can use your Channel Divinity to rebuke those who use violence. This better not be against party members. As a reaction, okay, good. When an enemy within 10 feet of you deals damage of a melee attack against one creature other than you, you force that attacker to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the attacker takes radiant damage equal to the damage it just dealt. On a successful save, it takes half as much damage. Okay. Sure. That's kind of cool. That's like a right back at you, buddy, kind of thing. That's alright. I think that was going to be like, the rest of my companions cannot hurt each other. Aura of Guardian. 7th level, you can shield your allies from harm at the cost of your own health. As a reaction, when an ally within 10 feet of you takes damage, you instead magically take that damage. Sure, okay. Doesn't transfer any other effects. Damn, Paladin's got a fucking lot of things. And this would be a party killer, but I think about playing a character like this in Curse of Strahd and trying to convert Strahd to the side of the light while using Strahd General. It could be an interesting thing. Like, if the story was like made to, like, you know, based around that idea. That could be super cool, I'll say that much, you know. That's the same with most ideas, so. What's up, Not Duck? Does it have the enchanted potato class, though? Does it potato class is the question, and unfortunately it doesn't. Protected Spirit, 15th level, a Holy Presence mends your wounds in combat. You regain hit points equal to 1d6 plus half Paladin level if you end your turn in combat. With fewer than half your hit points remaining and you aren't incapacitated. Man, I loved the bloody condition from 4th. Like, I really enjoyed that. I like my horses like I like my me. Hi. I think that would be quite a fun one shot to play. Emissary of Redemption, 20th level. You become an avatar of peace. Damn it! I can't spell. Subscribers. Somebody watching this on YouTube, that's been annoying them for like 2 hours now. They've already left a comment. You have resistance to all damage dealt by other creatures, their attacks, spells, and other effects. Whenever a creature damages you, it takes damage equal to half the amount it dealt to you. That's cool. If you attack a creature, deal damage to it, or force it to make a saving throw, neither benefit works against that creature until you finish a long rest. Sure, go crazy. It's 20th level, you know. I don't know. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of paladins in the first place. I mean, that much is clear. And this plays straight into the lawful good mentality of let's just not hurt anyone, man. It could be fun for like a fun one shot, or if you are basing a campaign around being a group of people who don't kill people, that could be interesting. It just seems like it would be a bit of a party confrontation issue. Like, actually, in my campaign at the moment, play a bird range. My favorite enemy is Phil. And I can't. Okay, in a campaign at the moment, Adventurers Anonymous, there's been conflict over like whether the party are gonna like keep people alive or kill them in a couple of episodes that are coming up. I can't talk about it much more, but they're not even like, you know, playing paladins like specifically meant to do this. So yeah, they'll be outgooding each other. Yeah, heresy. I prefer to play evil guys. Fair enough. You direct 1/4 damage, just not split again. It's level 20. I mean, like, yeah, go wild. It's level 20, you know. Yeah, resistance to all damage dealt, so you take half. Whenever a creature damages you, it takes damage equal to half the amount dealt to you, so yeah. Alright, but, you know, it could be interesting. I don't think it's the most interesting paladin out there, though. Alright, Ranger. Ranger Monster Slayer. Okay, cool. Rangers of the Slayer Conclave seek out vampires, dragons, fae, fiends, spiky fiends, in particular. Trained in a variety of arcane and divine techniques to overcome such monsters, Slayers are experts at unearthing and defeating mighty foes. Okay. Long-term sick. Oh my goodness, I'm bored out of my mind, but I want to try writing Cypher homebrew campaign. I wanted to ask if you want to help. I've got a few ideas. I'm starting to writing tomorrow for it. I really don't have time to like write a whole campaign with you, but I'm happy to throw some ideas if you need any. Very speedy for the host. What's up, Speedo? Slayer's mysticism. Mystic, I'm triggered. You learn an additional spell when you reach certain levels in this class, as shown in the Slayer spell table. Counts as a ranger spell, but doesn't count towards the amount of ranger spells you know. 3rd, 5th, 9th, 13th, 17th, protection from evil and good, Sword of Truth, Magic Circle, Banishment, and Planar Binding. I kind of like that idea, that's cool. Okay, Slayer's Eye. At 3rd level, you gain the ability to study and unravel a creature's defenses. As a bonus action, choose one creature you can see within 120 feet of you. You immediately learn a target's vulnerabilities, immunities, and resistances. You learn also any special effects triggered when a target takes damage, such as fire damage, halting its regen. In addition, the first time each turn you hit the target with an additional weapon attack, the target takes an extra 1d6 damage from the weapon. This benefit lasts until you target a different creature with this feature, or until you finish a short or long rest. Cool. You immediately learn the target's vulnerabilities means this is like that's like the metagamer's dream, right? I look at a creature and know everything that it does. I turn to the page in the monster manual. One Norman, one dashing rogue, yeah. Absolutely. Keep it in mind, maybe you can stream it while I'm off work. Love to see someone else play my work. Yeah, I'm always down to play games, man. Let's see. That's kind of cool. Extra attack, and if you're playing with Rise Ranger, you can take the extra attack of 5th, right? Yeah. And who isn't playing with Rise Ranger, man? Come on. Come on. Supernatural defense. The 7th, you gain resilience against appraised assaults on your mind and body. In complete class, you don't let target's alignment. Whenever a target of your Slayer's Eye forces you to make a saving throw, add 1d6 to your roll. Cool. 7th level. It's kind of good. The target of my Slayer's Eye. This is my slaying eye. This one's my normal eye. Maybe you have a 3rd eye, which is your slaying eye. Relentless Slayer. A lot of slaying going on. A lot of slaying. 11th level. Your study of folklore and arcane knowledge gives you a key insight to keep your prey cornered. If the target of your Slayer's Eye attempts to teleport, change its shape, travel to another plane of existence, or turn gaseous, heaven forbid, you can use your reaction to make a wisdom check contested by a wisdom check made by the target. To use this ability, you must be able to see the target and need to be within 30 feet of it. If you succeed, you foil its attempt, causing it to waste the action, bonus action, or reaction it used. This is my slaying eye, this is my slaying eye, this is my slaying eye. Beholder Slayer, holy moly. When a group is arranged and the Rangers enjoying D&D, usually a sign a group is good in my opinion. Alright, yeah. I like the, not today, Moldog, not today. What's up, Oreo, bro? Okay. That's cool. I don't mind the slaying eye, my relentless Slayer. Slayer's Counter. Counting how many slaying eyes you got, that's what I'm counting. You gain the ability to counterattack when your prey tries to sabotage you. If the target of your Slayer's Eye forces you to make a saving throw, you can use your reaction to make one weapon attack against it. You make this attack immediately before making the saving throw. If the attack hits, your save automatically succeeds in addition to the attack's normal effects. Sure. Okay, level 15. Slayer's Counter. That's cool. It's like a reaction, a riposte almost. I like it. When is Moldog not being a dick, you know? Man, I don't mind the Monster Slayer. I quite like the Monster Slayer. I don't really like the Oath of Redemption, and I do very much like the Way of the Drunken Master, because it's basically just being a troll. Yeah, so okay, I like these trio of subclasses. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to look at the revised subclasses, because can finally be Buffy with this subclass. At last, what we've all been crying out for. Wizards, please. When will we be able to play fucking Buffy? And now we can. And now we can. New drinking game. Drink every time there's a Slayer. Step 1, drink. Step 2, Step 3, hospital. Step 4, profit. Huh? Yeah, I like these subclasses overall. Like I say, I've never been a huge fan of the Oath of like Redemption Paladins in general, but you know, but there you go. My parents are proud, Moldog. Mordok's proud. Okay, let's look at downtime. Oh my god, is there a lot of downtime activities you can fucking do. Alright, let's take a look at some of these, because there are 14 pages. I don't have enough time to read all that. And also there's some new spells that we'll take a look at as well. Let's look at spells first, actually. Spells sound more interesting than downtime activities. You just make up downtime activities, right? Let's look at the new spells. Starter spells. Okay, the following lists indicate which classes get the spells in this document. Okay, good. Spell description. So these are spells to playtest, specifically cantrips and first level spells. So these are spells that you give to new players, or let you just get that you might want to choose when you're beginning the game, I guess. One, either, or both. Cause Fear, first level Necromancy. Cool to see new Necromancy spells at first level. Concentration up to 1 minute, range 60 feet, 1 action, V and S. You awaken the sense of mortality. I thought it said morality, I was worried about alignment. In one creature you can see within range, the target must succeed in a wisdom saving throw or become frightened for the duration. A target with 25 hit points or fewer makes the saving throw of disadvantage, which at first level... There's quite a lot of creatures with less than 25 hit points. The spell has no effect on constructs or undead. Cool. And the duration is concentration up to 1 minute. Oh, that new spells except for the Healing Elixir. Okay, I'll take a look at that one. Nice, dude. That's awesome, right? Okay. Cool Sphere. Sure. Like a new Necromancy option. Someone actually came in to chat the other day. How do I build a Necromancer? How do I make a Necromancer at first level, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you can take a few Necromancy options, right? But most of your options actually come in, like the real Necromancy ones, like when you get to Raise Dead, 6th level, which is obviously, sometime later down the road, but I like there's a couple more necromantic spells in the game. Ceremony, Evocation, Ritual. Range, Touch, V, S, and M. Duration, Instantaneous. See text. I haven't got a text from Wizards. What a goof. Okay, when you perform one of the several religious ceremonies, I fucking hate myself. When you cast a spell, choose one of the following ceremonies, a target of which must be within 10 feet of you throughout the casting. Atonement. You touch one willing creature whose alignment has changed. Oh, come on. I can't read this. I can't read Atonement. I'm triggered. You touch one vial of water and cause it to become holy water. Someone in chat liked that. Someone thought that was funny. Okay, it becomes holy water. Sure. Coming of age. Sounds a bit suspect. You touch one humanoid old enough to be an adult. Like to just put the proviso. I've never been charged. With any of this. For the next 24 hours, whenever a target makes an ability check, it can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the ability check. A creature can benefit from this ceremony just once. Okay, cool. Coming of age is a bit of a weird, you touch one humanoid old enough to be an adult. Isn't that a bit odd? That's a bit weird for me. It's just like the wording of it, I think. Okay, dedication. You touch one... Oh, here we go. You touch one humanoid who would willingly convert to your religion, or who wishes to be dedicated to your god's service. For the next 24 hours, whenever the target makes a saving throw, it can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the save. A creature can benefit from this ceremony just once. I don't know. That's the crazy Christians knocking on your door again, isn't it? Have you heard the good word of Pelor? Also religion in D&D, lol. Yeah, you bless one corpse within 5 feet of you. For the next 24 hours, the target can't become undead by any means short of a wish spell. That's cool, actually. I like that one. I bet line, but it's the law! You now get extra protection. Yeah, funeral rite's kind of cool. Alright, sure. Oh, there's even more. There's marriage! Oh my god, defined institution of marriage at last. What I've been craving for. It's just like in all of those weird Korean MMOs where you can marry the cat kitsune girl. That's definitely a girl that you've been playing on that weird server for a long time. Not that I've ever done anything like that. It's Shut up. Investigator, you touch one willing humanoid. Choose one first level spell you prepared and expend a spell slot and any material components as if you were casting that spell. The spell has no effect. Instead, the target can cast a spell once without having to expend a spell slot or use material components. If the target doesn't cast a spell within 1 hour, the invested spell is lost. Okay. Cool. This is interesting. You touch... This is weird. This is too much wizards watching cuckold porn. You touch adult humanoids willing to be bonded together in marriage. For the next 24 hours, each target gains +2 bonus to AC. What? And saving throws while they are within 30 feet of each other. A creature can benefit from this ceremony just once. I guess what they're going for is that's how long the marriage lasts. 24-hour marriage. In and out, you know. They're going for like the Will Turner, Elizabeth Swann marriage aboard the vessel. The Dutchman or Black Pearl, whichever it is. Charm 2 people, make them married. This is like the Vegas weddings. Yeah, shotgun weddings. Can you get married for a big boss battle and then divorce? Like, this is weird. Like, favorite scene, yeah. One ring to rule them all. This is weird. Why do you get 24-hour bonus? Can you then divorce and then get remarried? And then get the bonus again? Can you get married unbonus? You can do the spell before each fight but never actually get married. It's super weird. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, okay, marriage, like they're introducing some kind of like marriage rules, like laws and stuff like that, but like it's weird that you can just like 24-hour bonus, you know? That really is like those like weird Korean MMOs where you get like an extra like buff on your character for the next 24 hours, you know? Marriage weird, that bonus should be until the two creatures are married to each other. Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. Marriage is weird, guys. Never get married. Just arguing about shopping, yeah. And why the dishes aren't done. And that kind of thing, you know? Fuck me. Alright, Chaos Bolt. You hurl an undulating... bonus. It's a debuff. Introducing married effects into D&D. One action, 120 feet, VNS instantaneous. Chaos Bolt! Lightning Bolt! You hurl an undulating, warbling mass of chaotic energy at one creature in range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 2d8 damage. Holy mackerel. Choose one of the d8s. Actually, okay. The damage number is rolled determines the type of damage as shown below. That's cool. Papers and paychecks, make a legal check. You are now married. Please sign here on this small waiver for your 24-hour buff. Okay. That's interesting. So it's his first level spell, Evocation. If you roll the same number on both d8s, the chaotic energy leaps from the target to a different creature of your choice. Wow, within 30 feet of it. Make a new attack roll against a new target and make a new damage roll, which could cause the chaotic energy to leap again. Creature can only be targeted once by this mass of chaotic energy. Let's go on at higher levels. Extra d6 for each slot level buff first. Husband suffers permanent -10 persuasion checks against his spouse. Well, it's a gay marriage. They get both debuffs, they cancel out. Okay. There you go. Okay. Somebody's married. Yeah, somebody's married. Gay marriage meta. That's true, yeah. New meta. New meta is evolved. I like it. Okay, that's kind of cool. It's like a chain lightning effect, but worse. Good. Well, it's obviously first level, but that's cool. If you roll both, and you get acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, psionic, poison, psychic, and thunder. I like it. Guiding hand. These are more like guidelines. First level divination is a ritual. Cast time 1 minute. Range 5 feet. Concentration up to 8 hours. Okay, I wonder what this hand is going to be doing. You create a tiny incorporeal hand of shimmering light in an unoccupied space you can see within range. The hand exists for the duration, but it disappears if you teleport or you travel to a different plane of existence. When the hand appears, you name one major landmark, such as a city, mountain, castle, or battlefield on the same plane of existence as you. Someone in history must have visited the site and mapped it. If the landmark appears... This is like a tourist spell. If the landmark appears on no map in existence, the spell fails. Otherwise, whenever you move toward the hand, it moves away from you at the same speed you moved. And it moves in the direction of the landmark, always remaining 5 feet away from you. These are Unearthed Arcana. That's the should be the title. If you don't move toward the hand, it remains in place until you do, and beckons for you to follow once every 1d4 minutes. Okay, so it's like a clairvoyance kind of thing. It's interesting. You can do that up to 8 hours. Okay. That's interesting. It's like, yeah, the GPS spell. Yeah. It's interesting. Okay, guiding hand. Always find where you're going. That's the... We're lost, DM. What are we meant to be doing? Go this way. Hey, listen. Hand of Radiance. Casting time. 1 action, self, 5 foot radius. V and S, instantaneous duration. You raise your hand. You there in the back. And burning radiance erupts from it. Oh god! Good if you need to find your 24-hour wife, yeah. If you lose her. Each creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of you must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 radiant damage. Okay, cool. Hands up! I was about to read a triggering spell. Spell that could ruin a bunch of campaigns where you're spending time searching for a map, yeah. So I'm just gonna beat the crap out of someone in a couple of days, so tomorrow my girlfriend and I are getting married, yeah. Marrying women's for chumps, remember the meta, man, yeah. New meta has evolved in D&D5E. You gotta marry another guy. Okay, so, Healing Elixir, first level conjuration. Casting time 1 minute. Range self, V, S, and M. Duration 24 hours. You create a healing elixir. My potions are too strong for you, traveler. In a simple vial that appears in your hand. The elixir retains its potency for the duration or until it is consumed, at which point the vial vanishes. Okay, what does the vial do? As an action... Oh, this is like healing potion. Okay, fuck. As an action, a creature can drink the elixir or administer it to another creature. The drinker regains 2d4 plus 2 hit points. Yeah, man. Fuck every class being able to heal all the time, man. And always having healing potions. I don't know. Meh. Potion seller, my... My potions are too strong for you. Potion seller. I'm going into battle and I need your strongest potions. You can't handle my potions, traveler. They're too strong for you. But potion seller, I'm going into battle. And I need your strongest potions. If I am to defeat the beasts. Anyway, I'll stop. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, having every class able to heal, Wizard and Warlock. Maybe we're not about that life. Maybe we're not about that life. Get your own damn potions, exactly. Our potions are too strong for you, travelers. You can't handle them. Meh. Yeah, I probably wouldn't allow that one. Infestation. Infestation. That's not how that's spelled. Viagra potion. +5 to performance checks. Casting time, 1 action, range 30 feet, VS and M. In brackets, a living flea. I just want better potion creation. Yeah, that'd be cool. I guess the alchemist, artificer, could be something you could look at there. So not a madman. Infestation. You cause mites, fleas, and other parasites. This is cool. What's up, Harlequin? To appear momentarily on one creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a con saving throw or take 1d6 piercing damage. If the target takes any of that damage, the target moves 5 feet in a random direction. Okay. This is like the old scatter dice for like Warhammer cannonballs and trebuchets. If the target takes any of that damage, target moves 5 feet in a random direction, roll a d8 for the direction, 1 north, 2 northeast, 3 east, 4 southeast, 5 south, 6 southwest, 7 west, or 8 northwest. That's nice and easy to remember. Okay. Con saving throw, take 1d6 and then move in a random direction. 5 feet in a random direction. I don't know how useful that is. I mean, like, it could be useful. I'm going into battle. I need your strongest potions. The most definitely alive fleas and a husband, yes. Those are the things I need, potions. My husbands are too strong for you. You can't handle my potions. Huh. Health potion move. We're going to start throwing those around, yeah. Oh, man. Good old Balbus. Yeah, I don't know, but I guess that could be useful, right? They end up walking off the fucking cliff and they're like, because they're infested, but I don't know. Primal Savagery. Transmutation cantrip. Components S, range, self, duration, instantaneous. Your teeth or fingernails lengthen and sharpen. You choose which. Oh, your teeth or fingernails. Oh, that's cool, okay. Your teeth or fingernails, you choose which. Make a melee spell attack against one creature within 5 feet of you. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 piercing or slashing damage. Your choice. You choose whatever you want. After you make the attack, your teeth or fingernails return to normal. That's cool. That's cool. That's like if you're a shitty wizard warlock, you want something to defend yourself in combat with, then you can start doing it. I like that. Okay. But it's a fucking spell slot to spend first level. Oh no, it's a cantrip. Oh, it's a cantrip. Okay. Derp. I miss Balboa. Rocky Balboa. Hey! What's up, Vera? Thanks for the morning triangle. Triangle. I can say things. Casting time 243 days. Nice try, Watsy. Okay, that's a cantrip. That's actually very strong. That's real good. I like it. I like it a lot. I want to play a character that challenges the in-game notions of traditional marriages. Then take the marriage version of ceremony. Yeah. A half-orc polygamist with an all same-sex man harem of husbands. I like it. I approve of that message. Puppet. Casting time 1 action, range 120 feet, components S, duration instantaneous. Your gesture forces one humanoid you can see fuck 'em. To make a constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target must move up to its speed in the direction you choose. In addition, you can cause the target to drop whatever it's holding. The target has no effect on a humanoid as it means being charmed. This is like playing like the puppeteer, right? My girlfriend's Stuart changed one of her cantrips that one, let them re-choose some cantrips. Yeah, I like Primal Savagery. That would be quite a good druidy one to have. Yeah. Puppet. Cool, yeah, puppet. Make them fall off the edge of the cliff, make them drop the weapon that they're holding. Could be useful. Friend doesn't like your priest. Sense emotion. First level. Divination. Ooh, I got my chair caught on my fucking... There we go. Concentration up to 10 minutes. 1 action, range self, VNS. You attune your senses to pick up the emotions of others for the duration. This is the... I don't understand people. What are people thinking? Why are they feeling this way? When you cast the spell... It's like me trying to read a room. And as your action on each turn, until the end of the spell, you can focus your sense on one humanoid you can see within 30 feet of you. You instantly learn the target's prevailing emotion, whether it's love, anger, pain, fear, calm, or something else. If the target isn't actually humanoid or is immune to being charmed, you can sense that it's calm. Okay, interesting. Troll the dead. Toll the dead. I love that axe. As a gift, my 3 husbands. Alright, sense emotion could have some uses, I guess, if you're playing like a political campaign, maybe? Something like that. That could be interesting. Snare. A couple more. Okay, Snare. Casting time 1 minute. It's a first level spell, abjuration. Range touch, V, S, and M. You need 30 feet of cord or rope, which is consumed by the spell. Duration until dispel or triggered. 24-hour wife. She told me she wanted in. She told me it was cool, man. Okay, that's snare. When you cast a spell, you can use the cord or rope to create a circle within a 5-foot radius on a flat surface within your reach. Implying that bears don't have emotions. Okay, when you finish casting, the cord or rope disappears to become a magical trap. The trap is nearly invisible and requires a successful investigation check against your spell save DC to be found. The trap triggers when a small creature or larger moves into the area protected by the spell. The triggering creature must succeed in a dex saving throw or fall prone and be hoisted into the air. I hoist you, sir! Ha! Until it hangs upside down 3 feet above the protected surface where it is restrained. Thank the Baelish Kip for following. Welcome, my friend. Appreciate that. A gentleman and a scholar, sir. Bears have one emotion, murder. No, Your Honor. We were married for those 24 hours. Have you ever seen that, there's that Michelin Web sketch where it's like, I was terribly drunk at the time, darling. And it's basically this sketch where this guy ends up doing these terrible things like drunk driving and killing loads of people, and then the judge is there watching him, and the judge is, and the guy is like, but Your Honor, I was terribly drunk at the time. And the judge is like, oh, you should have said. You're cleared of all crimes. It's so good. The restrained creature can make a dex saving throw of disadvantage at the end of each of its turns and ends the restrained effect on a success. Alternatively, another creature that can reach a restrained creature can use an action to make an Arcana check against your spell save DC. On a success, the restrained effect also ends. That's kind of interesting, right? The idea of like magical traps. I like that idea. Where you can just not actually have to lay down a physical snare. That's a cool idea. Yeah, I like snare. And you kind of hoist them up. I like that idea. Here's your 24-hour wife. Use it well. Sudden Awakening. First level enchantment, bonus action, range 10 feet, components V, duration instantaneous. Each sleeping creature you choose within range awakens. Oh wow, it's a sleeping princess spell, and then each prone creature within range can stand up without expending any movement. Okay, I don't know how useful that one would be. Obviously, you could just give them the kiss of true love, and that would just wake them up. So I don't know if this one is necessary, you know. But there you go. Good, wake up the 24-hour wife. Alright, Troll the Dead, or Toll the Dead. Necromancy Cantrip. I like Necromancy spells, again. It's a cantrip, cast time 1 action, range 60 feet, VS, duration instant. You point at one creature you can see within range, and the sound of a dolorous bell, that's a strong sleep gun, that's true. Dolorous bell fills the air around it for a moment. Just for a moment. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage. If the target is missing any of its hit points, it instead takes 1d12 necrotic damage. That's cool. That's a cantrip. That's cool. Wisdom saving throw or 1d8 or 1d12 necrotic damage. That's good. I agree with it. I wish there was more necromancy spells. What if you have no love in your soul, therefore you can't wake them up that way? That's true. Then you would need to use Sudden Awakening. Have a great weekend all. Happy gaming, warrior gentlemen. Scott, take it easy, peeps. See you soon, Jam Battle. Likewise, sir. Have a good weekend. I like Toll the Dead. 4d12 at 17th. Yeah, that's a cool necromancy cantrip. There aren't that many necromancy cantrips, right? Maybe there are a few. I don't know. Okay, that's Toll the Dead. Unearthly Chorus. Sounds like my my high school chorus recital. First level illusion, casting time 1 action, range self in a 30-foot radius. Components V, duration concentration up to 10 minutes. I'm playing a game in 1 hour and 10 minutes. Compared to Ray of Frost. Let's see, Ray of Frost. I believe that has another condition which also slows, correct? Let's find a compendium and let's compare it. Someone in chat probably beat me to this by the time I get to it, but D&D 5th edition. The comparison was Ray of Frost. Ray of Frost. Ray of Frost is a cantrip, make a ranged spell attack. On a hit, it takes 1d10 cold damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet. So, the extra condition, and the fact that it's cold damage, well, necrotic damage, I guess that's the same. Yeah, the fact that it's slowed is the balance in that one, I guess. The extra condition. Okay. Music of a style you choose fills the air around you in a 30-foot radius. The music spreads around corners and can be heard from up to 100 feet away. The music moves with you, centered on you for the duration. Yeah, it's an attack roll versus a saving throw, so there's a difference there, I guess. Until the spell, and I'm not sure which one you're more likely to save, right? I don't know. There's probably some math involved in that. Yeah, I think this one's probably fine, actually. Totally dead. Seems good. Until a spell ends, you make a performance checks with advantage. Nice. In addition, you can use a bonus action on each of your turns to beguile one creature you choose within 30 feet of you that you can see, can see you and hear the music. The creature must make a charisma saving throw. If you or your companions are attacking it, the creature automatically succeeds on a saving throw. On a failure, the creature becomes friendly to you for as long as it can hear the music and for 1 hour thereafter. You make deception checks and persuasion checks against creatures made friendly by the spell of advantage. In the start set, Rare Frost deals less. Oh, really interesting. Interesting. Yeah, the slowing effect. Huh. Yeah, the bard buff, man. The bard buff. I like Unearthed Chorus. Okay. Lots of advantage. Virtue. Okay, let's go into Virtue. Abjuration, cantrip, casting time 1 action, touch, VS, lasts for 1 round. You touch one creature, imbuing it with vitality. If the target has at least 1 hit point, it gains a number of temp hit points equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. The temporary hit points are lost when the spell ends. Temporary hit points are fine. Yeah, that would be a sick bard spell, man. As if bards aren't already broken. I don't understand the bard hate, man. Bard is love, bard is life. Yeah, start spells are here, man. There aren't really any other buffs that don't make creatures angry with you after a while. Right, so like friends or something like that, yeah. Charm conditions often will have that. Wild Cunning! Casting time 1 action is a first level transmutation ritual. Range 120 feet, components VS, and it's instantaneous. You call out the Spirits of Nature. I'm going to call you out, Spirits of Nature. Imbuing with vitality. Okay. If there are any tracks on the ground within range, you know where they are. And you can make survival checks to follow these tracks with advantage for 1 hour until you cast a spell again. This seems like a cool ranger druid spell. If there is edible forage within range, you know it and where to find it. Is there any edible forage around here, ladies? Good God. If there is clean drinking water within range, you know it and where to find it. 120 feet isn't that far, is it? I guess just like if you're like underground, maybe that could be useful. If there is suitable shelter for you and your companions within range, you know it and where to find it. 120 range, like, feet just isn't that far. Is the thing that I'm thinking. You know, like you can probably see it. I don't know. I guess it only takes an action, right? Send the spirits to bring back wood. Oh, this is cool. Bring me wood and oil for a fire and to set up a campsite in the area using the supplies. The spirits build the fire in a circle of stones, put up tents, unroll beds, bedrolls, and put out any rations and water for consumption. Yes, there's a cave. Over there. Yeah. Yes, there's a river. Over there. You know what I mean? I guess, like, maybe if you like playing out the Abyss, you're in the Underdark, and, you know, there's... Yeah, I was thinking a mile, you know, similar to, like, the Ranger... There's a Ranger tracking thing, right, which is a mile in the new revised Ranger. Maybe that would be more? I don't know. You know. You could do a mile and do second level. Yeah, you could have the range go up by spell slot. Yeah, that'd be a good idea, actually. Have the spirits instantly break down a campsite, which includes putting out a fire, taking down tents, packing up bags, and burying any rubbish. Burying any rubbish. Guys, we're gonna get fined if we don't fucking bury this shit. Okay. Yeah, it might be more useful as a mile. 120 feet just seems a bit obvious where all of these things are. And really, all you're getting from that is just the spirits packing things up and packing things down again. which is something that you don't usually need to do in too much of a hurry. Sometimes you might, sure. I want to see the cleanup camp of this game, how big a campsite can be. That's true. Is the city of Waterdeep count as my campsite? Zephyr Strike. Okay. First level change mutation, casting turn 1. Bonus. Take only pictures, leave only footprints. Range stealth components V, concentration up to 1 minute. You move like the wind. Fly away on my Zephyr. For the duration, your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. In addition, the first time you make a weapon attack on your turn before the spell ends, you make the attack roll with advantage, and your speed increases by 30 feet until the end of your turn. Okay. That's pretty cool. So you can just get the fuck out of there in a way. I figured that was going to be some kind of attack because it's Zephyr Strike, but alright, yeah, okay. Yeah, I like these starter spells, honestly. Yeah, the one which was a little bit meh is the Healing Elixir, like giving warlocks and wizards a ton of healing to easily do is a little bit naff, as we say over here in the UK. A little bit naff. Depends if your demon is trapped in the woods with poison berries or dysentery in the river. Yeah, I guess, you know, there's some cases where knowing if it's clean drinking water is useful to know if you're playing in a campaign where there's lots of taint, as it were. I like the rest of these spells though. Yeah, I like Toll the Dead. I like that as a necromancy cantrip. Yeah, Healing Elixir I think is a little bit naff. The rest of them all seem good. Also, marriage is weird. Like, ceremony marriage. You touch adult humanoids willing to be bonded together in marriage for the next 24 hours. Each target gains a +2 bonus to AC and saving throws while within 30 feet. A creature can benefit from a ceremony just once. It's like... that one's just weird to me. I don't really get it. But the rest of that's fine. And the other spells I all I all enjoy as well. So I guess Salt, Drunkard, Monk, and Sorcerer. Yeah, don't diss a gay marriage, man. Coming from a married man, yes, marriage is weird. Oh man, oh man. Okay, let's take a quick look at some of the downtime on Unearthed Arcana whilst we're on this roll. Then we'll talk about a couple of channel changes and directions and stuff like that we'll be going in. Okay, let's go to that then. I feel like marriage should be more OP. Yeah, I agree. It should be like a one, you know, that you one bang it and you nail it, you know, whatever you do. Okay, downtime activities that take weeks, months, or even years of effort. You can give your campaign a longer timeline that allows events in the world to play out over the course of years. Wars begin and end, tyrants come and go, and royal lines rise and fall over the course of an entire lifetime adventure. It's actually quite a common question on like the DM's workshop shows that we used to do on how do you do downtime? You know, what's your favorite way to do downtime and stuff like that? Really, my favorite way to do downtime is just not mechanically to do anything for downtime and just do kind of descriptions of stuff and just have that as being kind of just like a roleplay tool. You know, what do you get up to in your downtime? You know, but you know, if someone's really wanting to play like a blacksmith and they want to like work on their, you know, blacksmithing skills whilst they're camping or whatever, then that, you know, I can see the value in that. It should teach them to spell Warding Bond. I like that idea. Imagine that one battle in Pirates of the Caribbean. Exactly, yeah, the Barbosa. Okay. You choose an activity, you resolve activities, complications, foils at NPCs who are actively opposer characters. They might be villains you have featured in past adventures or plan to use. They can include good or neutral folk who are odds the characters because they're rivals. The Cult of Orcus. Okay, why are we talking about this? The first step in creating a foil is building an NPC or picking one from your current cast of characters. Good idea to have 2 or 3 foils each with an agenda. Okay. It's interesting ideas. I'm wondering what this has got to do with downtime, but okay. Sample downtime. This is what I want to read, really. Get 24-hour wife, sell her. You're savage, man. You're absolute savage. Okay. Sample downtime activities. The following activities are available for any character who can afford to pursue them. Buying a magic item. Carousing. Okay, resources. Rip second and third wives, yeah. Damn. Famous Severedo for following. Welcome, my friends. The adventure, you're a gentleman and a scholar. I told you I'm evil. There you go. Okay. Purchasing a magic item requires time and money to contact people willing to sell the items. Even then, there's no guarantee they will sell them. Rip my gay harem. Rest in pepperonis. Finding magic items to purchase requires one work week of effort and 100 gold pieces minimum in expenses. Spending more time and money increases your chance of finding a high quality item. A character seeking to buy a magic item makes a persuasion check to determine the quality of the seller found. For me, a lot of this is just like, it feels a bit like overthinking it, you know? Like putting rules and mechanics to things that don't necessarily need rules and mechanics. All of these are optional, of course, but... The character gains a +1 bonus for every work week beyond the first spent seeking a seller, and a +1 bonus for every 100 gold pieces spent on the surge. The total bonus for time and money spent can't be greater than +10. As shown on the buying magic items table, the total of the check dictates which table in the DMG to roll on. Okay, cool. So you roll on table A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So I guess if you had a DMG, then you could game the system a bit. Because... if I recall correctly, some of the tables have a lot of like potions on. Some of the tables have a lot of different bits on them, like weapons and armors and stuff like that. Maybe that's. Then there are complications. If you want things to be more interesting, roll in a magic item, purchase complications table. I kind of like these ideas for might involve a foil. Oh, I see. So that's when you bring in the NPC who's okay. Okay, and you got carousing. Honestly, not many of these bits of Unearthed Arcana are too interesting for me. I think I found a lot of people playing games that are very rich without lots of place to spend it on. That's the thing, right? Yeah, sure. You know, you've got all this gold. What do you actually do with it in D&D? That's a good point. Crime, you can commit crime. That could be interesting. At the very least, this Unearthed Arcana is making me think about different activities that I could be getting up to whilst I'm in downtime. Whilst, as a DM and a player, I probably wouldn't really want to implement these own rules myself or my players. You know, it's interesting to think about what players could get up to. All of these different rules to them as well. Those are starting spells, yes. Selling magic items, scribing a spell scroll, work, training. You just go to fucking work. That's the most like boring part of D&D. You just go to work for a bit, you know, just go to your desk job. Okay. Well, there you go. I'm not too interested in looking at all of those bits of downtime, but hey, I'll link it to you guys in chat in case you are interested. Drunken Monk Pit Fighter, yeah, I like it. So here's the ones we looked at. We looked at the trio of subclasses. I like the Drunken Master, way of the Drunken Master. I didn't like the Oath of Redemption Paladin, it was a bit too... let's not hurt anyone. I could see it being a problem putting it with other party members. Back to the Smith Bakery for me. I like the Monster Slayer. That seemed like a cool idea. I liked the starter spells a lot, actually, from the Unearthed Arcana, like last week's Unearthed Arcana. I really like that. The Bard, Cleric, Druid, all of these were good, except for the Healing Elixir, which was a bit meh. Giving everyone healing, I think, is a bit much. Downtime, interesting, but I don't think I'd actually put that in myself. Revised subclass I didn't take a look at. Maybe I'll take a look at that a different day. I'm not too interested in looking at stuff I've already looked at. One day I'll be redeemed. And then the feats for skills were really cool. Yeah, the feats for skills and the feats for races were actually all quite interesting and good. Yeah, so there you go. That's my Unearthed Arcana reviews. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the show so far as well, we're staying on. We've got Numenera happening in just an hour's time. Hit that follow button and join us. But I do want to talk a little bit about channel direction, a little bit about the skill feats. Yeah, sure thing, buddy. There you go. A little bit of channel direction. Let me show you a tweet, and then we might watch a little bit more of our Mimi and Creamy friends. Let me find this tweet for you guys, if that shows up. So yeah, this was like the new direction thing that I talked about on Twitter. that the channel is going to be going in a slightly different direction from how you've been seeing it usually. And this is a change that you should see kind of throughout tonight and throughout the rest of the campaigns. You know, it's not going to be an overnight thing necessarily. Everything just changes like that, and there's going to be a lot of things that are staying exactly the same because they seem to work, and that's what our channel is about. But you can see there's going to be less interruptions during the game. Something that I've noticed, you know, comments over in the past have been, you know, shouting out the followers, the hosts and stuff like that interrupts the gameplay, and I agree, so that's not going to be happening so much. I'll be doing a thank you at the end of shows to everyone who followed, hosted. Donations I'll still be reading out because that's important, because that will affect the game as they're happening. There's going to be more story focused as well, because there's going to be less kind of you know, verbal interaction in terms of me shouting out followers and out of that. We're going to be a bit more kind of in depth and in focus onto the game, which I think will be good. And we're going to continue to have more long running campaigns, as well as the episodes and campaigns that are 8 episodes long that we've been kind of keeping to as our format. So it's not going to be a huge like format change. You should just see a couple of nice little quality of life differences, and for those of people who watch it on YouTube back, it should be a little bit more easy to watch, and you're missing out on, feel like you're missing out on less. I'll still be interacting, and the channel's still going to be as much about viewer interaction as possible. I'll just be doing more of that via chat whilst we're actually in a game. Subs, because you know monthly surges. Subs and Wild Magic surges, that's planning on staying the same. I think that's a great thing, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't had any roll-like fighting roll 20 games and local stores during Adventurers League. We're not set either, but as far as downtime, I think West March style game will incorporate a ton of downtime stuff like doing a job between games. Yeah, I've got a few games where you can come and play. If you want S-Wild, plenty of other channels have other one-shots going as well. So there's a link there in case you are interested in having a game sometime. But that's just a quick note on a direction. I want to continue to watch Satanism Unmasked. And let me just bring my music down here. This is going back to our 1980s videos, and we're going to have a little trawl and discussion and talk about how D&D has changed a little bit.
The more I'd, you know, looked into the groups and, you know, listened to them,
this guy's great.
It fed my mind.
This guy's Klein, by the way.
You know, hey, suicide is the way, you know, partying, drugs, and everything, and
worshipping the devil.
Drugs and stuff. Motley Crue, Shout the Devil tape had a big influence on me. The song Shout the Devil.
Sure thing, Richard.
And in the beginning part, Shout the Devil part, it said, be strong, you know, destroy and shout at the devil. And then in the beginning it said, we shall rule the afterwards forever. So I just figured, you know, join Satan, and, you know, you'd have the power, you'd be able to take over the whole world.
What kind of people are in Satanism? First of all, we know that D&D players are in Satanism. And that is an important part of being a satanic cult, is... Wait, I want to get a screenshot for Twitter. It's the first question that they ask. How did Dungeons and Dragons prepare you for your eventual involvement in Satanism? let me get a snip here, because I'm gonna tweet that we're just worshipping the devil here. I've changed the title to just worshipping the devil, you know, the usual. What's the devil sign, guys? Is it like I don't even know. There we go. Perfect. Just worshipping the devil like we do. Alright, let's go back to Klein.
You know, destroy and shout at the devil. And then in the beginning it said, we shall rule the afterwards forever. So I just figured, you know, join Satan, and, you know, you'd have the power, you'd be able to take over the whole world.
I love this guy.
At them like just street people or drug addicts or alcoholics, but there is...
Did he say straight people?
There was lawyers.
Did he say straight people? What?
People or drug addicts will take over the whole world. In Satanism, people are looking at them like just street people or drug addicts. Or
street people. I thought you said straight people for a second. I'm like, what? What's that got to do with anything?
Nurses, doctors, and
this video triggers me.
You know, they range from all kinds of backgrounds. You know, from rich to poor. There was breeders in our group, and what the females were for during the sexual rituals. The
sexual rituals are my favorite bit about this video.
We had sex with them. Who had
It is so funny because this guy Klein looks like the kind of guy who might not have ever had sex before. So I don't know how much I believe Klein when it comes to this. What's up, Lo? Yeah, I don't know. Lou Matty for following. Welcome, my friendly adventure.
Kids, and what the kids were used for is the human sacrifices. In our group, there was babies.
This is some like Christian American show. I'm not sure, Blacksburn. I can probably find it for you. It's called Satanism Unmasked.
And they ranged from teenagers, babies, and older ones.
Klein's my next
But more
PC.
of it was the babies. If you refused to do something, they would, in our group, they would sacrifice you. In Satanism,
Oh man, I don't know, Klein. If you refuse to do something, you're gonna die.
the more rank you get, what they call rank in there, the more bloodthirsty you get and the more death-related you get. If you refuse to do it, even though you knew it was wrong, and they asked you to do it or told you to do it, that you would die.
You would
That was
die.
the only way
You would
know,
die.
It's considered a sin for you not to obey them. To me, there
Klein to
is
meet
no
you.
way out besides Jesus
There's no way out, except there is one way out of D&D, and this is it.
Christ. I mean, you
Jesus Christ.
may be out as in not going to the meetings and stuff like that, but your mind and spirit's still in it, you know, unless you go through Jesus Christ.
The more rank you get, the bloodthirsty you get. Everyone knows we D&D players are very rank. That's right, we be, that's just how we be.
As you can see, I'm standing in front of ISIS Bookstore here in Denver. It's a store that carries all kinds of magic and occult items, everything from how to conduct a witchcraft ritual to coven meetings, books on everything you'd need, crystals,
Everything you need.
astrology, tarot cards.
They've got books. They've got everything you need. Oh man, I know ISIS Bookstore. Fucking hell. This is a true featuring kind of roleplay. This is the guy, so the guy's argument is everything that you need to fucking worship the devil. They've got books. They've got some candles and some little miniatures that you can put on the map and then
Everything from
Satan.
occult practices, and this lends to a lot of the fascination that young people have with Satanism and the occult. They're able to get their
the
hands
occult.
on books like
It's
I
the
got in
occult.
my hand here. We got this in this bookstore. It's called the Satanic Bible by Anton LaVey.
Satanic
Satan
Bible.
Wants You. Another one, Necronomicon, which is
The Necronomicon. It's the fucking gnomes. It's the Necronomicon for gnomes. That's the Necronomicon.
deals with magic and the occult. They got the Ouija
The
board
occult.
in there, so there's just about everything in there. The only thing we couldn't find was Dungeons and Dragons, but
Dungeons
go
and
down to the
Dragons.
mall, find any one of your national
Hey,
chain
bed.
bookstores and get that. Dungeons and Dragons is one of over 300 fantasy role-playing games on the market today. At least 4 million players have accepted the invitation
Tom, what's up, buddy?
to enter into the fantasy dream world of sorcery, swords, and demons.
Well, that's
Sorcery, swords, and demons. Oh my god, I can't believe they got the Necronomicon in there. They got some gnomes in here, and it's just, oh my god.
actually the figure by the National Coalition on Television Violence is documented more than
Documented.
125 cases
Uh-huh.
of either suicide or murder directly attributable to Dungeons and Dragons. In Dungeons
Directly attributable. 150, 125 suicides people that believed are directly attributed to Dungeons and Dragons. Can you imagine that? That's not, I mean, it's clearly not real, but it's just like, how can you believe this, you know? Oh man, it's all true, it's all true.
Dungeons and Dragons, what you do is to create a fantasized universe of the mind in which expediency
Yes.
to achieve your goal is more important than any kind of moral frame of reference to your actions. And so, for some kids, generally they're very intelligent and they're very imaginative. When they do this, some of them can slip over the edge.
So, it's like, yeah, sure, there are like cases that are happening at this time where, like, you know, kids are, you know, doing crazy things. But it's just, we had a similar thing with, like, video games. When I was growing up, there was all this, like, panic and fear, like, do video games make people violent? You know, this story of this kid, he goes and shoots his mum because she won't let him play Halo and stuff like that. And this is all very similar sounding stuff, you know, like the kid plays D&D and then he's inculcated by the devil and he murders people, you know. It's like, sure, maybe Dungeons and Dragons, you know, this kid was playing D&D. Is it that there's something else that is wrong with the, you know, the kids, or, you know, there's something, you know, ill with these people, that they're just not well for whatever reason, or is it that D&D has turned them into, oh crap, devil worshipping bastards? You know, I'll leave that, guys, up to you.
It's kind of like it's a...
I mean, I can say for myself that I've only killed 7 people whilst playing D&D, but
training primer. It's as they play the game, they are learning to function by all the rules that are wrong.
D&D is morally deficient. It's spiritually
morally deficient.
corrupt. It is educationally evil because it teaches.
Educationally evil. Let's go back to our BBC article. Dungeons and Dragons is now being used as therapy. As an ex-Satanist, I'm offended, yeah. Never been charged, that's true.
Evil, and it is potentially dangerous. And the road to the ideals it represents leads to destruction, and that's the only place they lead. I should know.
Movies have done their damage too. Mark Branch, a 19...
Do you think that guy's just blaming D&D on the fact that, you know, because he doesn't want to take responsibility for what he's done? You know, if he's locked up for having, like, killed a convicted murderer, do you think in that case, you know, yeah, it was D&D that made me do that? Nothing else, you know? You're in Satan because you're working for Satan, and I'm totally not reading a script right now. You couldn't find a group, yeah.
18-year-old horror movie buff stabbed Sharon Gregory to death. Branch, who later hung himself, was fascinated by the slasher Jason in Friday the 13th, saying this: he wanted to see what it feels like to kill.
Right.
Many of today's movies are no more than an introductory lesson to Satanism, witchcraft, and murder.
These kids are getting the idea from somewhere. A teenager doesn't manufacture...
Plead insanity, no, I plead D&D. I'm gonna have to, there's lots of evidence in the courtroom.
a desire to see blood or taste blood or...
I agree, Dark Beast.
To know what it's like to kill another human being. But if they've seen Jason do it, if they've seen Freddy Krueger do it... Mm-hmm. For that small percentage of people...
This guy is also meant to be like a professional, like, psychologist. Like, quote-unquote professional psychologist.
...out there who may be...
Many of today's movies are introductory lessons to Satanism and murder. Yes, yes they are. And Dungeons and Dragons, he's got these dungeons in, it's got these dragons too.
Borderline psychotic or who have serious drug problems. It can't...
Right, is the problem then that they are borderline psychotic and have drug problems, which I think is, you know, factually true with some of these cases, right? Where they actually do have a problem. Or is it they're playing TNT? I don't know.
And in some cases does tip them over the edge.
Oh my god, that reverb! The edge.
I want to read you scripture. It's found in 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse number 11. It says that we are not ignorant of Satan's device.
He's not ignorant. I don't know about that. Paul, or whatever your name is.
And people, as the body of Christ and as Christians, we cannot
maybe he was
put
a pastor.
our heads
Maybe he was a pastor,
in the
yeah.
sand somewhere and ignore what the devil's doing. We are called light in the earth.
These two play D&D, don't they? They're like, let's grab the nerdy kids, round them up, and you better not be worshipping the devil. You put it up!
We must shine that light into the darkness, exposing the darkness and proving to the world how glorious Jesus Christ really is. You know, Satan pretends to offer so many things to this generation. In fact, we read in some of the 9 satanic statements found in the Satanic Bible, some of the things that
Satanic Bible, the Necronomicon.
In the first one is Satan represents indulgence instead of abstinence. Do what you want, have a good time.
Seems like that seems fucking great. Like, do what you want, have a good time. That sounds great. I'm starting to like this Satan guy.
The fourth one says Satan represents kindness to those who deserve it instead of love wasted on ingrates. The 8th statement says Satan represents all of the so-called sins.
I bet Jesus played
they all
D&D.
lead to physical, mental, and emotional gratification. So you can do what you want. But there's one young man named Ricky Casso who never...
Look at Lee's lot. Apparently Satan offers me a lot more than God ever has. Sex, drugs, D&D, exactly, yeah. Jesus cast and vivified.
Experienced that gratification. Ricky was a teenager who took a friend of his from school named Gary, forced him to say, "I love Satan," as he gouged his eyes out with a knife and then stabbed him to death. And then as Ricky...
Wow, that's fucking brutal. It's getting graphic on these kids.
awaited trial in his own jail cell, he hung himself and committed suicide.
Me too, college.
That's not gratification, and yet that's what Satan is bringing to people
this
to
music.
make a decision to serve him. And I know you don't want to do that, and that's what this
I don't.
program's about.
Help me,
Not
Paul.
just to prevent people from getting involved in darkness
Save me.
and in Satanism, but to help bring people like you that may be watching.
I've got a Cthulhu t-shirt on, Paul.
Out of the occult, out of doing
Get
what
out
the
of the
devil
cult,
wants you to do,
guys.
and begin to do
Go
what
on.
Jesus wants you to do.
Do what Jesus
There's
wants.
one person who loves you more than anyone in the world, and that is Jesus.
It's Jesus
He
Christ.
wants to set you free right now where you are.
I've got nothing against Christianity. I don't give a shit what you do in your spare time. I don't care if you're a Muslim, if you're a Christian, or what the fuck ever. If you play D&D and don't play D&D. But this is fucking silly.
Some of you may say, well, how do I help someone that's involved in Satanism? What do I do? What do I look for?
What do I do? How do I do
There's
it?
signs that you can look for. There's
I'm a
things
full-time
that you can
Satanist, guys.
recognize to know that someone may be involved. A fascination with witchcraft in books or movies or...
How to spot a Satanist? Let me see here. You seem to be rather fascinated with this witchcraft and Satanism. Are you a Satanist? How to spot a Satanist? Well, they really like Satanism, first of all. That really is a big tell for me.
Or the rock music. Sometimes you'll see that...
Or the rock music. Could he possibly sound more out of touch? Do you like the rock music?
Satanists and people involved in witchcraft dress in black.
Joe
You may
Lauren.
find your kid with satanic paraphernalia in his room, candles and crystals and knives and things.
He's got some candles and he's got some crystals. so here, let me picture you a scene, my friends. There is a friend of yours. You walk into the room. He's playing rock music. There are some candles and some crystals around, and he's doing some witchcraft. Those are the signs that he might be a fucking Satanist. It's like, that's the most fucking obvious way. They got some crystals and they got some bugs and Satan out. Maybe he's got, I don't know, maybe he's got some Satans in the room, perhaps.
Things like that.
The
All
rock
these things
music.
will point to the fact
He's
that
wearing
someone may be
black.
involved. Maybe they're withdrawing or rebelling from authority. These things,
Maybe they are.
if you see them, you need to go talk to them and say, what's going on in your life? We need to communicate.
Hey man, what's going on in your life? Hey you, what's going on in your life? Wait, what are you doing this whole Satan thing, man? Come on, talk to what's really going on here? There's got to be someone else for it. Oh, I'm a meth head. I've got loads of mental illness. Oh, okay. Well,
Communicate with our young people, our friends, our kids, you guys that are parents.
Don't
We need to
mention
get
the
involved
rock
in their
music,
life. Don't
please.
ignore what's going on. Get involved and help them. You know, the Bible says in Ephesians chapter 6, verse number 16.
Well, you got
that
books.
we have been given
You're a Satanist.
equipment to overcome the devil.
That's
And one of
right, we
the things
do.
that we've been given is the shield of faith.
Yes, sir,
The Bible
sir.
says that the shield of faith can quench all the fiery darts of the devil. If you've been involved in Satanism, I want you to know you're serving a loser. You need to serve a winner, Jesus Christ.
Listen.
When you get involved...
Rebelling for a fairy, listening to music and reading books equals Satan.
With Jesus, you've got a shield of faith and trust in Him.
That's why I was right.
The darts of wickedness and evil that would come against you, and you can live a life that is more than a conqueror. And there's people watching right now. You need to give your life to Jesus. You're there right now, and you say, "I need Jesus. I need help."
I need Jesus.
We want to pray with you. We want to help you. We want to lead you to the Savior that can set you free. Bow your head with me right now, Father. I pray for people that are watching, Lord, that you would set
you
them
guys
free
in
by
chat.
your power.
Let's get some
Deliver them
blessed
out of the
RNG.
clutches of darkness and into the power of your light and
Pray.
your love. Show them how good you are and save them now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Holy shit, that guy was incredible. How is he not still on TV? How is that not a thing anymore? You mean candles, Satan? Holy shit, that was fun. That was fun. This is another incredible. Seeing as we're going on our satanic panic, we're just trying to worship the devil as much as we can here. I don't think I need to go into how much detail about how fucking ridiculous that was, and you know, just lies basically. So don't believe lies, guys. Hashtag fake news was around in the 1980s, so there you go. Obviously, the BBC are a bit more on it nowadays with Dungeons and Dragons being used as therapy. So we've made progress with D&D. This is so embarrassing to real Satanists. As a real Satanist, this is embarrassing. I mean, even as a super like evangelical Christian, it's like I think most Christians these days would think D&D is okay, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe there is still people who don't think that D&D is okay or because it's actually the devil. But I think most people these days that I've encountered, bear in mind I only encounter people who play D&D usually, so think that it's at least. It might be weird, but it's not evil, you know. Let's get rid of this real quick and let's bring this in here. Right to Cujo for the follow. Welcome, my friend. Yeah, you just got to cast a spell magic on Satan and that will get rid of him. This is a 1985 special. Is Dungeons and Dragons evil? D&D has been known as an occult game, but is it evil? Christians should renounce D&D if they have played it in the past. In this famous 60-minute segment from 1985, D&D co-creator Gary Gygax defends a game that supposedly caused kids to commit suicide and summon demonic spells.
D&D, it's become popular with children anywhere from grammar school on up. Not so with a lot of adults.
Let me know if that's loud enough.
It's been connected to a number of suicides and murders. The idea of the game, which is played by highly imaginative and intelligent kids, is to assume the role of one of the characters. One game can go on for weeks or even months. The problem seems to be that some kids take it more seriously than others. Take it a step
That's
further,
the problem,
playing
man.
a character who brings them the power in a game they couldn't possibly get in real life.
Wow.
About 2 months ago, a green eyeball was seen up in the sky.
These
This
guys.
eyeball was so big it blotted out the
They
sun.
had to find the geekiest looking fucking teenagers, didn't they? They really had to. Let me move this down a little bit. There we go. We'll capture it in the box just a little bit better. Oh man, this is actually quite interesting. This one, I think we have watched it before. This is only 20 minutes long, so we probably get through it before we go to the next show.
These young people are playing Dungeons and Dragons. It's an enormously complicated game in which each player chooses an imaginary character he'll assume.
Look, it's
There are
Will.
dwarfs, knights, and thieves, gods and devils,
What are you talking about? I'm
magic
still
and
12.
spells.
Spells.
It's a journey into a land of fantasy through
Fantasy.
complicated mazes where you use your wits to kill your enemies before they kill you, all in a quest for wealth and power. The Dungeon Master orchestrates and referees the game, creating scenarios both
JJ, what am I
complicated
doing
and
here?
terrifying. There is no board, only
Monsters and Mazes. It's my my host alert. Yeah.
the dice.
I've never seen dice like this. All different
That's
sizes.
crazy, Doug.
We're excited.
What's the point of it?
They're for different things.
The reporters are going, what's the point of it? What's happening? What's the point in this? I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get it. What's the point in all this?
The Foresighted is used mainly for damage from a dagger and dart, and magic users hit points. Hit points is the damage that you can take before you die.
There are
before
those
you
who
die.
are fearful that the game in the hands of vulnerable kids could do harm.
Vulnerable kids.
And there is evidence that seems to support that view.
Evidence that seems to support. Now, we're going to get into this evidence here, and this quote-unquote evidence is actually, believe it or not, no means definitional evidence.
Timothy Grice, 21, shotgun suicide. The detective report noted, D&D became a reality. Irving Bink Pulling, 16, an avid D&D player, a suicide. Daniel and Stephen Irwin, 16 and 12, a murder and a suicide.
Okay, so what we have here are 3 people who have been murdered that are similar age, all of which play Dungeons and Dragons. Now, I don't know how many suicides or murders there are, every year in America. I imagine the number is a bit higher than 3 or 4. But if the only correlation between them is that, well, I guess they all play D&D. It's like, what kind of policeman are you? It's like, what's the common cause here? What's it all mean? Maybe it was I don't know, D&D. Could be that. Yeah, let's call it that.
The police said
Dark Dungeons we watched on streamer is absolutely fantastic. I loved it.
They were obsessed with the game. James Allen Kirby, 14 years old, charged with killing a junior high school
exactly
principal.
that. Yeah, is going to a shopping center or whatever equivalents like Walmart, killing people in Walmart, and then blaming the fact that they went to Walmart for doing it. Yeah, I agree. No one fact checking anything. Yeah.
And wounding 3 other people. Police are blaming D&D. Jeffrey Jacklovich,
yeah, the
14.
Slender Man thing, yeah.
Stephen Loyacano, 16. Michael Dempsey, 17.
17.
And the list goes on.
Well,
the company
does it. That's like it's kind of important to make sure that when you say things like the evidence, the list goes on. How far does it go on? Are there just the 4 people that you've mentioned? Or are there 5,000 other people that you just haven't mentioned? And the list goes on. It's such a vague statement that it could really mean any number between 1 and infinite.
The company that makes the Dungeons and Dragons material is TSR Incorporated of
TSR.
Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
Back in the good days.
They estimate there are 3 to 4 million kids who play the game. Last year, they grossed nearly $30 million with Dungeons and Dragons books and paraphernalia, accounting for most of those sales. Gary Gygax owns the company and invented the game.
The G-Man himself.
Dieter Sturm is the head of public relations.
Okay.
There are a number of cases that have been documented where there is some connection between D&D. I'm not saying that D&D is the cause of the death. Paraphernalia from the game has been found at the scene of the death.
Isn't it fantastically ridiculous that you, as Gary Gygax and the spokesperson of the TSR company, actually had to go on national television to talk about this? To them, to Gygax, this must have seemed like such utter shit, And for someone like me, like if I was accused that my game, caused all of these deaths of children, like I'd be pissed off, man. Like, I would not respond in such a measured way. I imagine that's probably why the spokesperson is there. But I would be like, come on, dude, look at the facts.
Suicide notes referring to the game have been found. And all of these people, in a dozen or so cases, have been documented as avid D&D players. And you see no connection whatsoever?
Right. We see no connection for the fact that...
And you see no connection? No, of course we don't, you fucking imbecile.
Now... There's some 3 to 4 million players of the game actively throughout the United States. Right at this particular time...
So they've got 3 to 4 million people playing the game. And there are 3 to 4 suicides. 3 to 4. No zeros after that.
1985, teenage suicide is epidemic across the country with some 5,000 kids a year now taking their lives. I think that to say that because that child played Dungeons & Dragons... who's to say that that child does not watch television, does not participate in high school sports, or what per se?
I have yet to see one bit of valid clinical evidence to show that this has been anything more than coincidental with a disturbed child.
if you found 12 kids in murder-suicide with one connecting factor, wouldn't you
Come
question?
on.
And that's all people.
No.
I would certainly do it in a scientific manner, and this is as unscientific as
He'd
you
roll an
get.
investigation
Nothing
check,
but
so
a
he'd
witch
do.
hunt.
But the families who have suffered the loss of a loved one.
Yeah, it would be a terrible return on investment. If you play D&D, never watch TV, and don't play sports. So they're about to interview the parents of these the kids who have either committed suicide or been killed, and they've got like 12 kids who the only thing that they can find in common is Dungeons and Dragons. It's an epidemic across like the 5,000 children who take their lives apparently every year was the number he said there. I don't have the stats. I don't know. I don't have them to hand. It's fake news, but. They're about to interview the families, and the interesting thing about interviewing the families is that you kind of I get that that what they're saying is silly, but where it comes from, I think, is just a place of wanting to understand why their child has died, right? So I think it's probably quite common when parents lose their kids, for instance, to want to blame it on something, right? Some external factor. What can we blame it on? Was it the fact that the kid was unhappy, or all these other things going on? He had mental health issues or whatever. No, it's much easier to just blame it on this game that she started playing. So whilst what the families are about to say is a bit silly, I kind of feel bad for them because at the end of the day they have lost their child.
One would disagree. Pat and Lee Pulling and their 12-year-old daughter, Melissa. The Pullings came home one night 3 years ago and found Bink, their son, dead on the front lawn of their home in Montpelier, Virginia. He had shot himself through the heart with his father's handgun. Until that night.
Also, as an Englishman, we don't have many guns in the US. I know that there is something of a problem with access to guns. I mean, if the gun wasn't there, would he have shot himself through the heart? No, something else to think about.
They had never heard of the game Dungeons and Dragons. Then they began looking through his things.
We went into the kitchen, and there on the table were what we thought
D&D gave him the handgun, guys.
were just regular composition books with schoolwork in it, and much of the Dungeons and Dragons material, along with this curse he had received in the game that day that he died.
The curse that was placed on Bink's D&D character began, "Your soul is mine. I choose the tide." In a letter that he left, Bink said he had been summoned to kill himself because he was evil.
It was obvious through his writings that he felt he had
curse he
assumed this
received.
character. But what I couldn't get into my mind was, is it possible? How could anybody do that? How could a 16-year-old that is smart, intelligent, why would they believe that they were something in a game, and why would they kill themselves because somebody else said to do it?
Your son was well-adjusted?
Always. He had never had psychological problems. He was healthy, even physically healthy.
Well, we found that there's been numerous parents who say that...
Well, I mean, that's another point there as well, understanding of what mental health was at the time in the 80s, I'd imagine is probably not quite up to, what we would describe as being modern, and I'm sure in 20 years' time our understanding of what mental health issues are and where that is will be further on into the down that progression, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Darwin Award goes to the book. He opened the book, and the curse fell upon him, and the devil decided when he was going to die. So yeah, I think one of the primary issues that we have with a lot of these suicides, and with the D&D one in particular, is that the information about what mental health is and then how to diagnose that and how to help with that is definitely not readily available at this time. And I'm imagining a lot of this is taking place in Bible Belt territory based on the accents, and so there's a lot of Christian stuff going on there, blame the devil. Yeah, I agree, Tex. I imagine in 20 years' time we'll all look back and be like, 2017, we knew nothing.
The child's had no problems and such. Very conclusively, we go back to details of reports of classmates of...
This guy's face. It's like, that's a perfect meme right there, isn't it? Oh, man.
Teachers, of friends and such, who very much kind of show that the youngster didn't fit in to school, He had outside problems and generally problems with his family.
We know that in the case of Dungeons & Dragons, upwards of 3 million kids play the game with no apparent serious consequence. That for them, it exercises the imagination
Pretty much.
and is just good fun.
New Twitch
but there are those who are afraid that impressionable, vulnerable kids could be harmed by it. Dr. Thomas Radecki is
This guy is a quote-unquote doctor, in my opinion, an absolute fraudster. No apparent. Yeah, exactly. Fuck me. Like, if the evidence isn't there to support it, then you can't say that something is, oh, it's not apparent, but it might be there. It's like saying, I don't know, there's no evidence that tomatoes kill people, but there's, it could be that tomatoes are the primary cause of all bear attacks in America.
A psychiatrist who teaches at the
He's a doctor in
University of Illinois Medical School, and who is chairman of the National Coalition on Television Violence. He has been
He's the chairman of all national violence on television. What the fuck?
Studying the game for several years and says there are 28 deaths related to Dungeons & Dragons in the last 5 years.
He says that.
In some of those, it was clearly the decisive element, and other ones, it was just a major element in the thinking of the people at the time they committed suicide or murder. Is not coincidence, not when you have careful documentation, you have careful notes, you have eyewitnesses. For instance,
he just looks like a fucking scumbag, doesn't he?
One case, the parents were actually saw their child summon Dungeons and Dragons demons into his room.
I remember this bit. Let's go back. This is the best fucking thing.
Careful notes. You have eyewitnesses. For instance, one case, the parents were actually saw their child summon Dungeons and Dragons demons into his room before he killed himself. Another case, the kid thought he had the ability to astral travel, coming from the Dungeons and Dragons game, that he could leave his body and come back. And
parents actually saw him summon Dungeons and Dragons demons just before he killed him. I mean, come on, what is that? What is that? That's just absolute charlatan, isn't it? I mean, I absolutely believe that this guy believes it. You know, like, I believe that this man believes that he's telling the truth, you know, and I believe that, everyone else that thinks that this stuff is real probably do believe that it's all true, you know, because they actually believe in literal Satan, you know. I mean, the crazy part of it, where the insanity comes in, is if you actually believe that there is a physical Satan who affects things and can affect children, that's where it goes crazy. And then everything else from that just spawns from that. So Dungeons and Dragons is crazy because there's the word devil in it, but the real insanity actually comes from the fact that they believe that this stuff is real, you know? I think they're on some drugs. I mean, there must be a million different things going on with this. Yeah, we totally saw some demons in here. That's how we died. You know? God.
He had rigged it up just according to the rule book so he could do it. He was surrounded by
he must have a faulty book,
put a bullet in his head so he could leave his body, and he's never come back.
This is make-believe, and nobody...
I love Gygax. This is make-believe. It's just other shit.
He's murdered, and there's no violence there. I mean, to use an analogy with another game, who is bankrupted by losing a game of Monopoly? Nobody is, because the money is make-believe, the property is make-believe, and the bankruptcy is make-believe.
It is not like Monopoly. There is no board. It is role-playing, which is...
It is not Monopoly. It is not Monopoly. There are several editions of Dungeons & Dragons.
Typically used for behavior modification. If you are using behavior modification and you are doing violent roles and you're doing negative roles continuously, these children not only begin to have violent dreams or violent thoughts or negative, depressing type things, they become very...
What does that even mean? What does that mean? You know, it's proven that they'll start to have negative thoughts and depressive thoughts. I mean, there is no science to that. She's got no science behind this Dungeons and Dragons thing.
Very much a part of this character.
Like, this is just something that one person is saying. What? Something that I say doesn't mean it's proof, you know? It is, because I said it on television. Yeah, when you play Dungeons and Dragons, you will become depressed. It is.
You're role-playing, you're rehearsing, you're developing the character, hour after hour, day after day. We're really talking about intense involvement in a very serious form of violence.
The important thing to remember is, if you're playing a character, let's say, for instance, you have an evil character.
They had to find the nerdiest kids to like talk about, didn't they? They really did.
The rules tell you your evil character is allowed in the scope of the rules to murder people and to rape and plunder. If you're playing a good character, you're the defender of the people. You try to stop the people from raping and plundering.
Yeah.
But it's just your character that does it on the sheet of paper.
Paper.
When the game is over, the game does not tell you to go out and rape and plunder.
But for some kids, it's not as simple as that. Melissa claims...
I love the zoom on their faces, man. The Christian is absurd. These people just can't discern reality from pretend. I agree.
Claimed that D&D had become more than just a game for her brother Bink.
Someone threatened you?
Oh, this is odd, yeah.
Yes.
I remember this better.
My brother threatened to kill me one time.
Well, you know, let's be honest. Your brother ended up shooting himself through the heart, so clearly there was something going wrong there, you know, to be as, as gentle as possible. Clearly the boy was not well, you know. Clearly there was something, tragically wrong, and it's a tragic story, but we can't, correlate, it's just not proof, is it?
We found out later that he had threatened to kill her if she told us that he was playing the game. She knew it.
Oh, and I bet these guys are crazy fucking Christian parents who aren't letting him play games, Imagine there's something going on there.
And she was actually scared for her life.
After her son's death, Pat Pulling thoroughly investigated the game.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Like, for those of us who have siblings, like, that stuff is, not out of this realm of possibility that children say that kind of thing to each other. Children are horrible to each other. I mean, not to say that, obviously this kid in this case was certainly, not well, but, there are plenty of times where I've told someone I'm going to kill them, but I don't actually go out and kill anyone,
She felt so strongly that it was responsible for her son's death that she formed a network of...
Craven, there is nothing wrong with the evidence of this show. This is all completely bona fide.
...concerned people to warn others about the dangerous aspects of the game. Because of her involvement with D&D, Mrs. Pulling is often consulted by police departments.
Oh, this is an advert for D&D. Weirdly placed in here. It's super quiet though. So fucking quiet, I can't even get it louder. Just watch the faces. Use your lightning bolt. Victory is yours. Your Nomonomicon. I think the rest of this video isn't actually regarding
with D&D.
Oh no, it is.
Mrs. Pulling is often consulted.
Did they have to play an advert then? Did they really? And now for a brief commercial from our sponsors, D&D. If you like Satan and you like killing people, then I've got just the ticket. No one fucking escaped from jail, and his parents wouldn't approve. His sister threatened to tell them, lashing out was a threat. Understandable, messed up. I don't know what's going on here, but there's just there's just no evidence for the things which have been claimed by this program. But hey,
by police departments around the country.
Stop playing before I catch the depression.
In this deserted area outside the small town of Lafayette, Colorado, two brothers.
This is the craziest thing as well. So this is where it blurs the line between even just crazy people that I'm a doctor actually goes so far as the police are fully investigating this and believe this.
Daniel and Stephen Irwin, 16 and 12 years old, were found dead. It was a murder-suicide. The story was widely covered by newspapers and television, as was the fact that the police said the deaths were caused by the boys' obsession with the game Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Officer Greg Corey was assigned to the
Fucking
case
hell,
when
Greg.
the boys were first reported missing. He learned that they used to come to this railroad trestle to play the game.
Greg's a big letdown for the police
here
force.
When you came? Yes, both boys were intertwined, their legs intertwined down in this area. The older boy in this area here, the younger boy laying here with the .22 caliber gun next to his head.
Agreed.
Where the gun was found was just to the right of his head area.
As a police officer, as an investigator,
this is crazy.
Did you see a connection between what happened here and the game
Dungeons and Dragons.
And the investigation showed that it was a focal point of the boys' lives.
Why are people so fucking stupid, shit? That's a cool hideout, man. I wish I had a hideout like that to go play D&D when I was a kid. It's just like he gave him every possible opportunity. He was like, "Are you sure, as a police officer, that D&D was definitely involved? Are you sure about that?" And the guy's like, yes I am. I'm very sure. It's definitely."
They were just enthralled in the game. And this comes from witnesses and the family and the brother, that they were totally obsessed with the game.
Losing a lot of brain
48 hours straight. Sort of a marathon playing.
2 weeks.
That sounds awesome. 24-hour stream. Let's go. Oh, by the gods, my friends. By the gods.
After the police chief announced that Dungeons and Dragons had been the cause of the boys' deaths, he issued a final press release with a different version of his earlier statements. TSR claimed they were vindicated. But Pat Pulling couldn't believe that the police changed their story.
And I said, well, you can't change it. If it's the truth, you can't change it. I mean...
You can't change it if it's the truth. If it's the truth, you can't change it. How about this, Melissa? What if it's not the truth? Have you considered that? Have you thought about anything else? Any other factors involved in this?
Children are dying.
I've done 16 24-hour
Children
streams.
are dying out there, and people are not telling.
Mrs. Pulling was convinced that it was the threat of a lawsuit by TSR rather than the evidence that made the police chief change his story.
Did you threaten to sue the city?
No, we did not threaten to sue. We did send them a letter, which we asked them in a very kind way that they please further investigation and take a look at exactly what all the evidence is and what the details are specifically before they start calling the name of our product into it as being a blame or cause.
But Mrs.
So I love this back and forth that they have as well. So let's talk to the representative from here. You say this thing. And now, crazily, let's hear from you. I agree, Speedy. It's actually like very, it's actually sad, despite like the, it is comedic in a sense to look back about how weird and bizarre actually everything was. Yeah, it's sad to think of the actual lives lost and the things that were attributed to it.
Mrs. Pulling had received a letter from the police chief in Lafayette in which he said that it was his fear of a lawsuit that made him back off.
Yes, he sent me a letter.
The letter to Mrs. Pulling from the chief of police said in part, "I sincerely hope you will understand what has happened and will forgive me. I do not feel very good about myself, and I feel that I have lost a part of my integrity."
I feel like you fucking have, Officer Fuckwit. I feel like I've lost a part of my integrity. It's almost as if attributing all of these suicides of these kids to completely unrelated things has made me seem like I'm less of a good police officer. It's strange how that worked, but I'm gonna keep doing it no matter what.
May I say that the city administrator and city attorney were very supportive of me, but cautious. My obligation to the city as a whole to protect them from serious financial litigation was predominant.
Because you're gonna get fucking sued because you don't have any fucking evidence. It's like, I'm so sorry that we can't keep looking into this ridiculous angle, but we're gonna get sued because there's no evidence. I agree, Tex. That, like I was mentioning before.
I mean, I said, boy, maybe somebody was going to really take and pay attention to this now and start doing some serious research and start stopping children from dying over something that they didn't have to die. I don't know.
She got a lot of airtime.
I don't think anyone is suggesting that your
intentions
originally with this game were anything but good. It was a game to have some fun. But in the light of what some people would consider to be strong evidence, don't you really think that you have to rethink your position about the game and at least make known the potential for...
Do you think you should reconsider your position on the game and the potential? Oh, no, I fucking don't. Thank you very much, you baseless reporter.
Abuse of the game?
Well, I again have to go back and say there's no link that this is
strong evidence
perhaps in the minds of those people who are looking desperately for any other cause than perhaps their own failure
exactly what
as
it
a
is.
parent for their child's death.
Brought out by Wizards of the Coast.
Further, anything
can based on what some people would consider to be strong evidence. Crazy people.
Be abused. Are we going to try to go around and say, this chair could be used by a violent person to strike another person. Therefore, it should have a warning label on it saying, caution, this can be used to assault you with.
We would like an impartial inquiry by the Consumer Product Safety Commission to actually look into these deaths, to call the police, call the detectives forward,
exactly.
Bring forth the evidence, bring the parents in, look at this. Let's have an inquiry, an open public inquiry, and let's find out the truth.
This Friday, the town of Putnam, Connecticut will hold a town meeting to discuss whether Dungeons & Dragons should continue to be played in their schools. The suicide of a 13-year-old Putnam boy has once again fanned the controversy.
That's the end of the video. Where was the warning label? Where is my safe space? Why do I not have it? Holy mackerel, this was not pleasant to watch again. It's just, exactly, I mean, good luck, Judo. I think what Gygax, mentioned there is people, who have suffered a tragic loss, no question that the loss of the children is absolutely tragic and, nothing someone should have to go through, but the correlation between that and D&D is clearly some, people looking to find external factors to blame for the thing which is inexplicable, something which can't be explained. How do you explain it? D&D, because at this point in science, there isn't anything which can actually explain this very well. Oh, he was insane. That's not really a very good answer or anything. So what's up, Alvin? Grew up with this garbage, right? That reminds me of Tom Hanks' movie from the 80s. They played D&D. We might have time for one last clip from Mazes and Monsters. JJ, what am I doing here? Which is my host alert. Mazes and Monsters. I've seen a clip from this before. Yeah, best ever seen Mazes and Monsters. This is absolutely incredible. Robbie! So, backstory, Tom Hanks' character has been playing Dungeons & Dragons, but it's called Mazes and Monsters, and he's losing the game, or he can't escape from the game, and so he's going to throw himself off the side of the pier, and there's the Maze Master, who's basically his D&D layer, did that to avoid copyright.
Pardue, what are you doing?
It's so ridiculous, the 80s.
Going to join the Great Hall. You can't, it's a trap. I have spells. I'm going to fly. You don't have enough points. I am the maze controller.
Oh,
maze controller? Yes. And I have absolute authority in this game. Game? Game.
Also, thanks for following, Jay. Game. Watch the slow zoom. Wait for it. Watch it.
JJ, what am I doing here?
There it is!
Kate, why can't I remember?
Oh, dude, it's so sad. Music. Fucking A. It's that the slow zoom. Like, listen to the audio quality difference. And the slow zoom, and then it sounds like so different.
JJ, what am I doing?
Why does that sound so different? It's such a meme. Oh my JJ, what am I doing here? If you haven't hosted a channel, host the channel, and that's my alert. JJ, what am I doing here? I just got the clip of it, and it's my favorite thing ever. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they teach Lovecraft, Stephen King, just lost so much respect for Tom Hanks. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's like JJ, what am I doing here? I trusted you, Tom Hanks. JJ, what am I doing here? Oh, dude. Is it music at the end? I want this to be the song that they play at my funeral. Wow. Wow. JJ, what am I doing here? Cue everyone hosting. Man. Flick Attack Mazes and Monsters, one last game. JJ, what am I doing here? JJ, what am I doing here? Guys, it's time for us to go to our next show. JJ, what am I doing here? Time for us to go to our next show, which is Numenera, a series of stillness. I will get everything set up and sort for this game. Next show starts in 10 minutes time, so grab a drink, grab some food, and our next game will begin in just a few minutes. If you enjoyed that first show here, I watched a ton of fucking Hearthstone videos, man. If you enjoyed that show and you haven't followed yet, hit that follow button and join us. We're here 6 days a week playing D&D. When we hit 20 followers, you guys get to decide anything which happens next in our campaign, and we're just 2 followers away from that happening. So I'm going to go and set up a couple of bits and bobs here. Give me a couple of minutes whilst I rant and ramble around. But wasn't that crazy? Wasn't that crazy? Like, it's so bizarre. It's so odd, but it's also kind of nice to look at that now. You know, today the BBC released an article which is... you guys are, we're using D&D, JJ, what am I doing here? For therapy now, whereas in the past it was all pain. Do. Make sure I don't get... Yeah, I've got a game starting now and I'm just gonna kill my players, so, you know, just for Satan. Do it for the story, you know. There we go. Setting up my game. Setting up my game. I got a tweet for you guys I got to set up as well. JJ, what am I doing here? Let me find this tweet. There we go. 20 retweets is a viewer decision. Let me write this out. Triangles for Satan. Bring that tweet up.